Let me ask you something.
Definitely.
X, can we roll around? Okay, cool. Thanks. Let me ask you something straight up. तिमीलाई किन लाग्छ मान्छेहरूले तिमीलाई मन पराउँछ?
Malai,
अँ,
I feel like it's because I really am passionate about something. When I'm talking about, I feel like people like me because of my music. Because whenever I'm talking about my music, playing my music, or in some way am revolving around music, there's this sort of love and passion that just radiates from me because I love doing it. Like, you can take away food, you can take away water, you can take away money, you can take away every luxury in the world from me. And if you just give me a microphone and a beat, I'm gonna murder that shit. And that feeling just radiates to people. I feel like people love that about me. That's what they love the most. If they don't, that should be what they love about me the most, at least. What I believe. Because I don't feel like I'm a perfect person. I'm a flawed person. Everybody's flawed.
Sure.
But that music part about me is the best part about me. And I feel like that's what people love about me the most.
You know, a lot of people don't know that you've been around for a long, long time, my brother. You've been around for like 13, 14 years.
Around, yeah.
Give or
Okay.
take, 2009, 10, whatever, you've been around, right?
Yeah, I've been in love with hip hop since, let's say, when I was in grade 8, which is 2008. I actively got into a studio from 2011. So, yeah, and then my journey didn't just ended by going to the studio. When I went to the studio, the charge of doing a song was like, let's say 5K per song.
5,000 रुपियाँ लिन्थ्यो
5,000
त्यतिखेर
लिन्थ्यो त्यतिखेरको है तर नट अहिलेको
2011 को
2011को 5,000
धेरै पैसा हुन्थ्यो नि
भर्खर 11
10
पास
वर्ष
गरेर
अगाडि,
ब्रो लाइक 5,000 इज लाइक मन्थली
lot of
पकेट
money,
मनी
bro.
त्यसमा मन्थली पकेट मनी बेसिकली सो आई वेन्ट देयर एन्ड आई वाज लाइक यसरी त सस्टेनेबल छैन बिकज आई वान्ट टु डु लाइक 500 सङ्ग्स इन माई लाइफ अनि त्यतिखेर हिसाब गर्दाखेरि नै त मेरो त गइसक्यो सबै थोक क्या एभ्रिथिङ आई ओन इज अलरेडी गन टु जस्ट टु डु सङ्ग सो वाट आई फेल्ट लाइक वाज hip hop teaches you how to hustle, it teaches you how to grind. So I learned how to mix master myself, I learned how to make beats myself. Over the time I learned how to graphic design myself. I'm editing Miss Nepalko music video, intro video one, which I'm also editing videos myself. So all these things that cost money, I got it covered by myself. And later I realized, oh, you could turn it into a business too. And these things that I know, I can use this knowledge and power that I have to make life easier for people after me. Kind of like what Yamada did for me. Like him making the sacrifices that he made my life as a musician easier. And I feel like it's my duty to do that for the people after me. And that's all I'm in it for, basically. Because it's really not about money in the sense that I know the music I make is going to spread out like shit someday. And it's going to make me millions and billions of dollars, no doubt, hands down.
Why hasn't it happened yet?
It hasn't happened yet because of me.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I have this conversation with my mom almost once a week, right? I'm a business major. I dropped out in the last sem. Before I dropped out, I was 4 GPA student. I was like doing crazy good in business school. So I know...
कहाँ पढेको तिमी?
King's
Kings, अनि?
Course American हो तर यहीँ
पढायो,
right? So like, I was pretty good at it. When I went to the college, I didn't know. When the professors asked me, what's the difference between profit and revenue? I'm like, दुइटै पैसै हैन and then they taught me like, so revenue is money you make, money your company makes, and after cost of goods produced, taxes, da da da, त्यो चाहिँ तिम्रो profit हो, da da da. They taught me all that shit. I became good at it basically. I dropped out because I had a lot of things on my plate related to business, related to my company. So I had to be like, nah, rather than graduating, doing this in real life is more important for me. So I made that opportunity cost thing myself.
So you talk to your mom about it?
I kind of
every week?
No, not about this per se. What I'm about to tell you is what I talk about. Because my mom is somebody who is fought for my dreams more than I have fought for my dreams, I would say. Because like, I can only imagine, I know, like, in a social gathering, when everybody's like, my son is this, and my daughter is this, da da da, and my mom's like, even my son with long hair, he makes music. I know it must be really tough for her. So I really appreciate how much she's shown faith in me over the years. And I can see that her faith is sometimes shaken because I'm not a viral artist yet. Like, I'm not out there with millions and billions of views yet. And that has honestly never been my goal. My goal has been, since day one, I went to the first studio with 5,000 in my pocket to do a song, is to make my song sound as good as a rapper in LA or like New York is rapping. I wanted it to sound as good. So the last 12, 13 years was my journey to take my music to that level. because I'm not a trained musician. I don't know how to play a single instrument yet.
Okay.
I don't know how to play a single instrument. This is the only instrument I know how to use is my vocal cords, right?
Good for you, bro.
And my lyricism. Those are the two instruments I know how to play well. But in contradiction to that, I have produced around, I lose count, but at least 17 albums for me and other artists included, without knowing how to play an instrument, right? So I feel like to overcome all these challenges was what took me 13 years. And I have never, you can check my background, I've never consciously tried to promote my music. Whatever has happened so far with people liking my music or like spreading my music, God bless, I'm very thankful to every single person who shared it. But it's happened solely because of the virtue of the music. So this year, I feel like I've broken away from all those boundaries, quality-wise. Yeah. Because a dude in New York who's listening to my song, right? If he's not a NRN, right? He's not going to listen to my music because I'm Nepali, okay? He's not going to be like, oh, you're Nepali, there's a third world country, dukha cha ulai, usko git sundim na. It doesn't give a fuck. Unle Drake ko git पछि मेरो गीत बज्दाखेरि अलिकति पनि डिफरेन्स थाहा पायो भने he's going to be like, nah, skip next song. He doesn't have time for my shit. So I was preparing myself to gitma by going to a business school and learning business and marketing. What I knew was gitma million view ल्याउन गाह्रो छैन क्या. It's not challenge, especially today, man. Like there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's social media which can let your music reach people's cell phones just like that. तर त्यो million view आको गीत कस्तो छ is the challenge.
Name me one song which is like forever song which has 1 million views. Just one song.
From the album?
Whoever, not yours, whoever. God's Plan, Drake.
Nah, man.
Then?
If you repeat the question again, I'll be able to suggest the right song. One
no,
more
what
time.
I was saying was like a song which is like a, I don't know, like a...
Which is timeless.
Yeah, which is timeless, like Gangster's Paradise or something like that.
Okay,
you know, like a timeless, like Yama Sati, you know,
Oh my God.
like forever song, yeah, like
I would say Lil Wayne.
Okay.
6 foot, 7 foot, or Lil Wayne, Let It All Work Out from Carter 5. Lil Wayne, Let It All Work Out from Carter 5.
I want to stick in this conversation. I know you emailed me your new music, right?
Yes, sir.
Which one do you want us to play? Check
my
email
God.
check गरौ न. जुन email check गरे पनि हुन्छ हैन?
You could play the first track, which is called Fall. And that kind of defines the album. It's a 2-minute intro. That kind of defines...
Subway one word.
Subway one word and 4 letters actually. Only it was like a challenge that me and my producer had. Can we do that? And it was like, let's try, man. And it was like, let's go for it. Yeah, it's all...
Bon you.
Definitely.
You sure?
Yeah, whatever.
Are you okay if I say it? Are you sure?
Yeah, whatever, man. The music's still going to blow your mind.
One's called Fall.
Yes, sir.
Cold.
Yes, sir.
Hurt.
Yes, sir.
Dark. Aura. Pimp.
Yes, sir.
Ball. Okay.
Then Kill.
Yes,
sir.
Fire.
Yes, sir.
Call.
And then Half.
So
if you think about it, the album starts from Fall, which is like Dasaiko time like fall bhन्छ. So it's also a season, but I also play with the words in the sense that like summers after winters, but you make me want to fall. So it's dedicated to a girl, basically. What I'm saying, like, that doesn't matter what season it is, you make me want to fall for you. And right after, right?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So like after fall, winter starts, so it gets cold. And where I express my pain, then I am hurt, and it gets dark, and then I need your aura. But then I realize, right?
Yeah.
I am not this dude who's all up in his feelings. I'm a pimp. I'm actually a pimp who is pimping around with music, who's pimping around with money.
Who's hustling.
Yes, so I'm a pimp. And then I ball, and then I kill all these rappers. And then...
we're going to talk about that. Okay.
I kill all these rappers, and then there's Fire, and then there's Call, and there's Half. Might have 2 or 3 more songs to just wrap the whole thing up, to like make it, let's say, to conclude the thought process behind these 2 other songs. But yeah,
all right,
that's pretty much what I have so far.
Let's play one and then don't copyright us later on.
No, definitely not, man, definitely
play
not.
the first one.
I've not even like registered the copyrights yet. It's not released yet. So
don't worry, brother. I have to say it right now.
Definitely.
And if you say ma gardina,
you're in the clear. It's still very fresh to my own ears because I just exported it like a week ago maybe. So So I'm just still listening to it on multiple devices and being like, wow, this is beautiful. Can't believe I made this shit.
Good man.
Crazy.
Yeah, good. होइन यस्तो के आफूले गरेको काममा खुसी हुने बडो गाह्रो हुन्छ नि.
Definitely, man.
बडो गाह्रो हुन्छ नि.
And on top of that, I'm a very self-critical person. I don't take criticism from nobody else because I do all the criticism myself. Like, you don't have to tell me if it's bad.
I already know it's bad.
I already know it. Like, I'm trying to fix it, bro. I'm already trying to fix that shit. If you tell me it's bad, I know, bro. Like, I'm trying to fix that shit.
You have to be your biggest critic. If you,
Marcus Aurelius said, be tolerant of others, but be very strict of yourself, Rega. Be tolerant of others. अरूले जे गरे नि खप क्या आफूसँग चाहिँ हो क्या स्ट्रिक्ट हुने किस अरूसँग स्ट्रिक्ट भयो भने डिसपोइन्ट मात्रै हुन्छ क्या इफ यु एक्सपेक्ट अदर पिपल टु डु लाइक थिङ्स दिस सर्टेन काइन्ड अफ वे एन्ड इफ दे डोन्ट डु यु गोना बी डिसपोइन्टेड राइट एन्ड इफ यु एक्सपेक्ट योर सेल्फ टु डु थिङ्स अ सर्टेन काइन्ड अफ वे एन्ड इफ यु डोन्ट डु इट एटलिस्ट यु क्यान चेन्ज द्याट कन्सियसली यु क्यान बी लाइक ओके टुमोरो आम गोन गेट अप एन्ड ट्राई अगेन अरूलाई कन्ट्रोलै गर्नु मिल्दैन क्या त्यसरी सो आई डोन्ट लिसन टु क्रिटिसिजम फ्रम अदर पिपल बिकज again thanks to my dad, thanks to my pops, because like have you read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I'm gonna read it. You just told me. Tell me.
I don't read. I listen to audiobooks because I'm a terrible reader and I don't have the patience to read. But I've listened to the audiobook. It's by Robert Kiyosaki, I think. And there's a lot of people. I grew up in a at best upper middle class family, right? But this whole industry kind of thinks that I'm a rich dad, silver spoon fed type of dude, right? They think I'm like a billionaire.
What do you mean the whole industry? Everybody who are on your social media?
Now people like I've had artists who are signed to me, and people are telling them, "Timle paisa khwaera sign bhao," and they're like, "Nah, dude, this is love for the game." But like I said, there's this misunderstanding about me that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I'm not going to say that gharma khana paisa thiyena. I'm not going to say that. My dad worked way too hard to put food on the fucking table, right? But my dad was a rich dad in the sense he was rich here, right? So he taught me from a very young age to be very, very self-critical. So bachedekhi, I would have been an excellent lawyer, and I pretty much sure dad would be very proud if I was a lawyer. But if he kind of understood what I do in rap, I feel like he'll be more proud because I pay attention to a lot of detail. And I'm very, very self-critical. If you've been in the studio with me, if you've created with me, you know that I'm a fucking perfectionist. I'm gonna give it 100 million takes if it requires me to give 100 million takes, but the shit's gotta sound right. So अहिलेसम्म मैले music consciously market नगरेको promote नगरेको because I never believed in my songs. I would be amazed when people were like the song is dope, and I knew it was dope on a certain level. But जुन threshold बाहिरको इन्डस्ट्रीको छ नि त्यो चाहिँ मिट भएको थिएन अनि कतिजनाको म्युजिकमा अझै नि मिट भएको हुँदैन मैले पनि आइम नट गोना से दिस इज द पिक अफ माई म्युजिक आई हेभ रिच्ड अ सर्टेन थ्रेसहोल्ड एन्ड इट्स ओन्ली गोन गो स्काई वर्ड्स फ्रम हियर बट त्यो जुन रिक्वायरमेन्ट पुर्याउनु पर्ने थियो त्यो चाहिँ मैले पुर्याइसकेँ सो यो वर्ष चाहिँ आई रियली वान बी भेरी कन्सियसली प्रमोटिङ माई म्युजिक बिकज आई वान्ट फरेनर्स टु लिसन टु माई म्युजिक एन्ड बी लाइक शिट यो मान्छे नेपाल आर यू सिरियस हिज नट फ्रम न्युयोर्क हिज फ्रम काठमाडौँ नो युर किडिङ मी बिकज every time somebody मेरो कोही साथी अमेरिकामा छ अनि if he plays my music for some for an African American dude or for like a white dude doesn't matter they're always like what the fuck is this shit you कहाँको what is this अनि अहिलेसम्म भएको it's just by the virtue of music like I said I didn't have a sound engineer I didn't have a producer I didn't have none of that shit I worked my way up I don't believe in sharing my struggle a lot because I don't believe in that victim mentality कि मलाई दुःख भयो like no I always believe कि like होइन जे छ म यतिमै गर्छु अनि चाहिने नै जे छ त्यति मात्रै हो क्या खास जे छ त्यतिमै गर्न सक्यो भने गर्न सक्यो नभए अब इट्स अल गोइङ बी एक्सक्युजेस एट द एन्ड अफ द डे सो
What's confidence and overconfidence? Why don't you describe it to everybody? What is confidence?
Confidence is believing in yourself, and there's no such thing as overconfidence. Like, do you ever look at a girl and be like, "You to kya atti धेरै beautiful छ भन्दैन नि?" So confidence is like a positive adjective, right? How can there be overconfidence? I actually heard Kanye West say this. He's like,
who?
Kanye West. He's like, what is overconfidence?
Yeah.
Like, you can never.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
On government paper को name में ये so उसको अहिले. So that is confidence क्या basically. मलाई बाल छैन. Like म ये हो अबदेखि. अब तिमीलाई ये भनेर चिन भनेर भन्न सक्नु इज कन्फिडेन्स
एक्स कतिबाट कतिमा झऱ्यो त्यसको पैसा अदानी भन्दा नि वर्स्ट भयो क्या अरे अहिले होइन कम्प्लिटली वान कम्प्लिट ब्याङ्क्रप्ट आई बिलिभ हो
He went from 10 billions. He went from 10 billions to almost 200-300 million मात्रै छ होला उसको अहिले net worth.
हो र?
Yes.
He lost everything, man.
Yes.
Like,
but
Jesus.
People might say that is overconfidence again, right? Because Kanye West is someone who's perceived as overconfident in the media बाहिरको. He's like, wow, यो मान्छे कति धेरै confident. How much is कति like यसलाई डाउटै छैन लाइक somebody pulls up at the Grammys, he wins the award and he's like everybody wanted to know what will happen if I didn't win, I guess we'll never know it. That's the amount of confidence he has. And he was asked in an interview, right? Confidence when I kill, overconfidence when I kill.
Kanye West earned a huge amount of money by working with several brands such as LV, Nike, Adidas, good music, Donda, blah blah blah. Kanye West will now what do you do? Okay, Kanye West's net worth is around $4 million.
From 10 billion to 400 million.
$10 billion.
He would correct people when they said you are a billionaire. You'd say no, 10 billion. But correct gardeka मान्छेलाई यसले
$10 billion.
And the difference between million and billion can sometimes be overlooked. So a million in time is 11 days. A billion in time is 32 years.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean
so
in time?
if you turn money into seconds, right? 1 million is 11 days. 1 billion is 32 years. That's the stark difference between a million and a billion. This guy had 10 billion, now he has just 400 million.
Just check this AX. Damn, that's like
Crazy
going to like another universe.
Definitely. Money is the new dimension. I feel like नेपालमा यो कुरा किन बुझेको छैन जस्तो लाग्छ म. I feel like it's a big problem in our country.
के कुरा रे?
धनबाद भन्छ नि नेपालमा. Do you know I've seen graffitis in houses. त्यो पहिला एकदम हाम्रो यो माओइस्ट इन त्यो टाइममा there were graffitis over the wall which still live till today. जुन जसमा चाहिँ के भन्छ धनपतिहरूलाई देश निकाला गरे and everything. धनपति भनेको क्यापिटलिस्ट भन्न खोजे उनीहरूले. And if you look at the political doctrines of our political parties, they're either socialists or communists. And नेपालमा there's no capitalism. नेपालमा मलाई पैसा कमाउन.
Well, I don't know, but sure, go for it. I'm going to listen to this.
There is capitalism छ भने पनि एकदम क्लोज सर्कलमा मात्रै छ क्या. So it's not dissipated.
I don't know that yet, homie, but yeah, sure.
Think about somebody in Surkhet. He has no idea about capitalism. उसलाई पैसा कमाउनु भनेको गलत हो भन्ने छ क्या. पैसा कमाउनलाई 2 नम्बरी काम गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने मेन्टालिटी छ क्या.
I don't know about that, but
really?
I want you to finish that.
No, I've faced that in so many instances where people are like, if somebody's super
not
rich.
Not everybody's going to go ahead and think about like, I'm going to do wrong things and make money. But anyways.
Not everybody's going to think that. Definitely not everybody's going to think that. But majority people of our Nepalलाई चाहिँ money making को concept नै मन पर्दैन जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई चाहिँ. If you really think about how they are functioning, क्या भन्न त मुखले के भन्छ doesn't matter हैन. But the way they function, क्या nobody is aspiring to be a millionaire. त्यो भन्नु भनेको तर यो पिसाच money minded रहेछ यो मान्छे त टाइपको मेसेजहरू I have faced it myself.
तिमीलाई चाहिँ म बिलियनर बन्छु कुनै दिन डलरमा अथवा म लाइक ट्रिलियनर बन्छु भनेर तिमीले भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मान्छेले चाहिँ कस तिमीलाई हेर्ने पर्सपेक्टिभ चाहिँ ए ल यो त
not just me I've also seen that in so many other artists face that too. People in business school that I went to business school with, whenever they talked about making money, it was like, what about the impact? Now I will create impact definitely, but I want to make some motherfucking money in this bitch. I'm in it for the money too. त्यो भन्न चाहिँ गाह्रो छ क्या नेपालमा. Cause like मलाई किन जस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो देश एकदम अभावको देश हो क्या खास. There's so lot of दुःख in our देश.
Of course.
Right? So उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ I feel like we need to really make our whole country believe कि like it's a small country bro, like it's 3 crores 4 crores max population भएको देश हो हैन. Like properly plan गरेर गर्यो भने 5 वर्षमा विकास 7 वर्षमा विकास हुने देश हो क्या. So I feel like we need to be mostly I met my lawyer a week ago, right? अनि मलाई अहिले
यो कामको लागि
for my business, right? So अनि मेरो अहिले main challenge, one of my main challenges के छ भन्दाखेरि how am I going to take money from people living outside Nepal? If I'm planning to go international with my music, I also need a place where I can collect all the money I make, right? अनि नेपालको लले चाहिँ के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि a Nepali citizen is not allowed to invest outside Nepal. We're not allowed to invest money outside Nepal. त्यसको logic I told Satish, that's the name of my lawyer, I told him like, dude, what the fuck? I want to invest outside, right? And he's like, Milena. And I was like, why? It's like, the law...
You want to invest outside or you want to go ahead and be able to go ahead and like sell your music outside?
Either or. Because to be able to sell my music too, I'll also have to invest some money. I cannot just be like, la mero git स्पोटिफाईमा हाल्ने त पैसा इन्भेस्ट गर्नुपर्छ, मार्केटिङ गर्नु नि त इन्भेस्ट गर्नु पऱ्यो नि त एट द एन्ड अफ द डे त, राइट? यु क्यानट जस्ट बी लाइक अमेरिकामा नेस्टीको गीत आएछ सुनिदिउँ भन्ने खालको त हुँदैन नि त इमिडिएटली.
अरूले के गर्छ लाइक छिमेकी मुलुकमा चाहिँ के हुँदैछ? हेभ यु एभर लुक्ड एट थिङ्स लाइक दैट?
आई हेभ. छिमेकी मुलुकमा इट्स भेरी इजी बिकज लाइक उनीहरूलाई त्यो प्रतिबन्ध नै लगाएको छैन नि त.
जस्तै चाइनाको आर्टिस्टहरू बाहिर छ इन्टरनेसनल.
चाइनाको आर्टिस्टहरू अलिकति डिफिकल्ट छ. चाइनाको आर्टिस्टहरू चाहिँ मोस्ट चाइनाबाट त्यस्तो सक्सेसफुल आर्टिस्ट धेरै थाहा छैन मलाई.
थाहा छैन चाइनामा हिपहप त छ होला नि?
अलिअलि छ. मैले एउटा सर्टेन पोइन्टमा I'm not sure about this, but ban भएको भन्ने नि सुनेको छु चाइनामा हैन. But
hip hop music,
but Chinese artistहरू or like यो most Asian artistहरू चाहिँ Higher Brothers or something भन्ने एउटा लेबलमा साइन छ मोस्ट आर्टिस्टहरू चाहिँ
Chinese
it's not Chinese, it's Indonesian, त्यो part of the Asia-बाट. They're based there.
त्यहाँ पनि hip hop छ नि हैन?
They have a crazy hip hop. They have a crazy hip hop. I have fans in Philippines who are listening to my English and they're like,
You have
nasty.
fans
I
in
have fucking
Philippines?
I'm surprised myself. People text me, I'm from Philippines, I listen to music. I'm like, are you serious?
What?
Are you crazy? Like, I know, right? But again, coming back to this thing about our country not allowing us to invest money outside, logic, because the only way a government talks to your people, the people, is through law. That's their way of communication. That's the guideline they said, you gotta, you know, gotta. So, dollar नेपालबाट बाहिर इन्भेस्ट गर्न रुपियाँ इन्भेस्ट गरेर भएन डलर इन्भेस्ट गर्नु पऱ्यो बिकज द्याट्स द करेन्सी द्याट वर्क्स अनि नेपालीले बाहिर डलर इन्भेस्ट गर्न पाएन बिकज बिजनेस गरेर डुबाउन सक्छ बिजनेस गरेर डुबायो भने के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो राष्ट्रिय ढुकुटीमा डलर सकिरहेछ सो डलर पुरै सक्यो भने देश डुब्छ भन्ने तनावले गर्दाखेरि वी आर नट अलाउड टु इन्भेस्ट आउटसाइड भनेर मलाई भन्यो उसले एन्ड आम लाइक डुड आम नट इभन ट्राइङ टु इन्भेस्ट डलर्स
सो तिम्रो आइम जस्ट ट्राइङ टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दिस सो द्याट एभ्रीबडी अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दिस पर्सपेक्टिभ होइन तिम्रो अब यो नयाँ एल्बम लेट्स टक अबाउट दिस एल्बम होइन तिमीलाई यो एल्बम चाहिँ गएर स्पोटिफाईमा राख्नु छ अथवा तिमीलाई यो एल्बम गएर चाहिँ इन्टरनेसनली पुर्याउनु छ
इन्टरनेसनली पुर्याउनु छ होइन अनि स्पोटिफाईमा राख्नु इज वान अफ द वेज आई वान्ट टु डु इट त्यो त डेफिनेटली त्यो त बाइ डिफल्ट
तिमी गर्छौ नै डेफिनेटली युट्युबमा पनि मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली राख्छौ नै
बट वी आर अल्सो बिल्डिङ अ वेबसाइट जुनमा चाहिँ मैले मेरो रिसेन्ट एल्बम चाहिँ रिसेन्ट एल्बम नै भनौँ क्रान्ति भन्ने एल्बम निकालेको थिएँ मैले त्यो चाहिँ म फर्स्ट एभर सोलो नेपाली एल्बम थियो मेरो त्यो चाहिँ मैले एक्सक्लुजिभली मेरो वेबसाइटमा मात्रै हालेको थिएँ
What's your website, brother?
iCrown.com. अहिले it's down because we are maintaining it. We are upgrading it right now for the new projects that are coming in. EYECRWN.com मा छ थियो होइन अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ we integrated e-सेवा अनि we also had a make do solution for phone pay and everything. जब त्यहाँनिर मैले डलरमा पैसा लिनुपर्ने सिचुएसन आयो त्यसपछि I didn't have a lot of assistance अनि I was trying to find solutions अनि a lot of people in my circle will say तिम्रो कोही साथी होला नि त अस्ट्रेलियामा उसको पेपाल युज गर होइन I get you तर मलाई त्यो जुगाड चाहियो होइन क्या I need a permanent sustainable solution मैले मेरो 13 years of career धेरैवटा जुगाडहरू ट्राई गरिसकेँ क्या मैले at this point in my life I need something sustainable that's
so that it's going to benefit you and benefit everybody
generations after me
there's such a fantastic app called Noodle do you know about that?
I know about Noodle.
How is Noodle doing by the way?
Noodle is doing pretty good. Noodle ma pani locally मात्रै transaction गर्न मिल्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई as far as
are you on Noodle?
I am not on Noodle yet.
You're not on Noodle yet?
Because the moment I decide to do a website, I'm a direct competitor of Noodle, no? If I decide to sell my music through a website or an app, now I'm in direct competition with Noodle. So I've not put my music on Noodle yet. I might, this album, किनभने मेरो चाहिँ हरेक एल्बमको लागि I think differently for marketing. How am I going to make it available to my listeners भनेर क्रान्तिको चाहिँ वाज नेपाली एल्बम सो ई-सेवा मात्रै भयो भने नेपालको मान्छेले मात्रै सुन्ला नि त भन्ने सोच भएर मैले ई-सेवा मात्रैमा I launched it.
You want to go global?
I definitely want to go global. अहिलेसम्म मलाई मेरो आफ्नै प्रडक्टले साथ नदिएको हो मेरो आफ्नै त्रुटि कमजोरीहरूले गर्दाखेरि because I had a lot to learn. Now I have mastered the aesthetic to a certain degree. I read this quote. It goes, an amateur does it till they get it right. A master does it until they can't get it wrong. So I think I'm at a point where I'm doing it where I can't get it wrong at this point.
You feel like you're a master now?
I know I'm a master now.
After how many years?
After 12 years at the least.
12 years. 12 years of working on this.
Yeah. And that is because I work too much. It might take more for people to really master this craft. Any craft actually, not just rapping. Yeah. Like, for example, doctor boy, you know. Doctor हुन certain degree गरेर graduate भएर doctor भयो तर तिमी राम्रो doctor हुन you'll need to be in the field and work for 10-12 years. The muscular memory must store.
It's called practicing.
It is practicing. The greats weren't great because at birth they could paint. The greats were great because they paint a lot.
So 12 years, give or take, like you feel like when I have mastered my craft.
I know I have mastered it now. I know I have mastered it now because I have. For so many years, I've listened to my music and other people's music, and I've criticized myself and other people, and now I can listen to my shit and be like, okay, it's good enough. I'm not saying this is the best I can do. Never. I'm never going to say that. I still listen to this album like shit. The producer of this album, co-producer, I also co-produced. There's a few composers involved in it, and main beat make gareko, like sabai session host gareko producer bhayeko naam चाहिँ Riot Cobain. That's his stage name, right? And every time we do a song, we go upstairs, listen in my room, we're listening to the music, and we're like, next album, ma yo fuck up or fix गर्नुपर्छ हामीले Because we're in the moment, we do it, put it out, and then move on to the next project, improve. And then my goal is always to, every time I hit the studio, I hit the studio almost every other day. यमदाले चाहिँ के भन्नुहुन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि तिमी दिनको एउटा पनि गीत गर्दैनौ भने तिमी कहाँको ऱ्यापर हो मुला
दिनको एउटा गीत
गर्नै पर्यो नि तिमीले अनि आई हेभ डन दिनको एउटा गीत फर क्वाइट अ लङ टाइम सो अहिले चाहिँ म के गर्छु भन्दाखेरि अल्टरनेट डेजमा वा 2-3 दिनको ग्यापमा जान्छु and I just do 2-3 songs, just go ballistics on it, and then we go upstairs, we listen to it, and like, ल अहिले यो गीत सक्यो नेक्स्ट मा यो इम्प्रुभ गरेर निकाल्नुपर्छ हामीले भनेर सो द्याट प्रोसेस इज अलवेज देयर सो अहिलेसम्म नभएको त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हो आफ्नै गीत नपुगेर हो म मामुलाई जहिले त्यही भन्छु कि मामु इज लाइक भ्यू अझै चाहियो तेरो गीतमा एन्ड लाइक नयाँ भन्ने गीत हाम्रो एकदम चलेको थियो त्यसमा चाहिँ अहिले पनि 1 मिलियन पुगिसकेको छैन अस्ति भर्खर वी चेक कि जात्रा भन्ने अनदर भेरी सक्सेसफुल सङ स्टेटिस्टिकली के गरिरहेको छ त यो गीतले भनेर सोचिरहेको थियो हामीले सो we checked Nishish Grizzle, if you know him, Grizzle, right? So Grizzle distributed the record through a platform. And
I haven't met him yet.
Yeah, he's a brilliant dude. Like there's one dude who never just usko career pani 10-12 years bhaisakyo हैन उले अझसम्म लाइफमा गीतमा कुनै पनि एउटा लाइन पनि वेस्ट हुन दिएको छैन क्या every line is a fucking masterpiece when this guy raps. He's a fucking genius, man. Brilliant guy, हैन but I asked him like दाइ कति म सबैजनालाई दाइ भन्छ regardless of the age because it's my way of doing it but I asked him दाइ कति स्ट्रिम्स पुगेछ जात्रामा can you check and he was like 175 million that's 17.5 crore that was 3 months ago and this 3-4 months ago and फेरि जात्राको सिजन आयो जात्राको सिजन पछि maybe a month ago we met again and we was like कति पुगेछ दाइ स्ट्रिम्स 175 थियो million 300 million and I'm like what the 300 million 30 करोड होइन त्यो भनेको नेपालको पपुलेसन 10 times ओभर what the fuck is going on अनि सो बेसिकली मैले भन्नु खोजेको त्यति 300 million स्ट्रिम्स आएर पनि वी आर नट गेटिङ द डिजायर्ड सक्सेस द्याट वी वान्ट इन्टरनेसनली भन्ने चाहिँ दोज नम्बर्स अलोन डोन्ट म्याटर त्यो नम्बर कुन गीतमा आएको छ इज वाट म्याटर्स द मोस्ट नट सेङ जात्रा इज अ ब्याड सङ बट अगेन इफ आई प्ले द्याट सङ ब्याक आई नो कि यहाँ यो बिग्रिरहेछ त्यहाँ त्यो बिग्रिरहेछ एन्ड इफ मलाई मेरो 1 वर्षको अगाडिको गीत सुनेर त्यो फिल भएन भने आई हेभ नट ग्रोन 1 वर्षको अगाडि गीत सुने इफ यु प्ले मी अ रेकर्ड फ्रम 2-3 years ago I'd be like nah, don't play it please it's whack I've grown so much from that dude I was 2-3 years ago I've outgrown that artist I want you to listen to the song I did yesterday always
don't you feel like you've grown every single day when you wake up in the morning and you do something new you know don't you feel like oh man
it depends on the day
I can do something different today
no definitely that I always feel but some days you just lie around do nothing those days I really have a difficult time coping with the day because I always want to stay productive I need to be on a mission
मलाई एकदम मन परेको कुरा चाहिँ के लाग्यो भन्दाखेरि तिम्रो मामुले पनि तिम्रो के अरे कन्टेन्ट हेर्नुहुन्छ अनि त्यसपछि तिमीलाई फिडब्याक दिनुहुँदो रहेछ कि होइन
oh my god my mom is a crazy listener होइन she's my mom always says कि
I'm sure अहिले मामुले हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ होला सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ होला
if it's there she's definitely watching it होइन अनि it's like मेरो मामु is such a फेरि she's not like मेरो छोरा हो गीत राम्रो no she's not यो त भएन भन्ने खालको छ क्या
बुझेन
भने बुझेन के को छोरा none of that shit so like I only rap for a couple of people basically नेपाली गीत सबै मामुलाई डेडिकेटेड हो like in the sense कि like मामुले सुनिसिन्छ मामुले बुझिसिन्छ because English she does not necessarily understand what I'm saying so नेपालीमा उहाँले बुझिसिन्छ so नेपाली गीत I always whenever I do a नेपाली song I'm like I'm going to make mommy proud with this song होइन इङ्ग्लिस गीतहरू दुईवटा टाइपको छ एउटा चाहिँ आम युजली फर एकदम ऱ्याप लिसनर्सहरूको लागि लाइक क्रेजी पन्च लाइन्स डोप 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 टाइप अनि अर्को चाहिँ आइम ट्राइङ आउट नाउ टु सिङ एन्ड ट्राई टु अपिल टु अ डिफ्रेन्ट मार्केट लाइक अलिकति टिनेज अलिकति फिमेल ओरिएन्टेड मार्केटहरूको लागि पनि आइम ट्राइङ टु मेक सङ्ग्स एन्ड नेभर इन माई क्रिएसन डु आई एभर थिङ्क कि आज चाहिँ म यसको लागि गीत बनाउँछु भनेर आई गो टु द स्टुडियो follow the flow wherever the song takes me and then I decide कि like okay यो गीत चाहिँ मामुको लागि हो अनि यो गीत चाहिँ यो लिसनरको लागि त्यसरी I always think that my mom is we have a lot like she is मैले भन्दा धेरै नेपाली ऱ्याप सिनलाई फलो गर्छ क्या मेरो मम oh my god man she is giving me updates like I remember a couple of years ago Raw Bars को नयाँ सिजन अनाउन्स भएको थियो I knew it through my mom she's like बाबु Raw Bars फेरि हुन आँटेछ like what how do you know this shit man I'm from the industry I don't know this shit and I'm lost in my own thing and my mom is like यो भइरहेछ त्यो भइरहेछ
1995 मा के एक एउटा गीत आएर रहेछ होइन यो मलाई पनि थाहा थिएन यो गीत चाहिँ नेपालको पहिलो ऱ्याप सङ रे कि होइन बत्ती बाला हो कि के भन्ने रहेछ कि होइन थाहा छ यो सुनेको छ बत्ती बाला भन्ने 1990 were you born in 1995
I was born in 1993
3 you were born you were like 2 years old होइन अनि हामीले
oh my god
अस्ति कसले पो मलाई यो पठाइरहेको थियो होइन आई वाज लुकिङ एट यो त नयाँ भर्जन जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई होइन यो चाहिँ दाजुले रतन दाईको ल
Is he lot to hip hop?
I don't know man म 995 is too young it's too young यो त नयाँ भर्जन होला दिनेश दाई पनि हुँदो रहेछ त्यसमा होइन यो त नयाँ होला होइन तर
Dinesh Dai is the journalist guy.
I think wasn't the Dinesh Dai like
Holy
if
shit,
I'm not mistaken
bro.
go back but I'm sure back in the day music videos were different yeah,
Definitely
go back
Dinesh Dai नै हो
Dinesh Dai हो interesting होइन अनि त्यसपछि हो के अरे 2000 मा के होइन मैले पहिला नि I think I've recalled this 2000 मा चाहिँ जिपी आएको हो के होइन गिरीश प्रणालीको चाहिँ 2000 मा आएको हो तर 2003 मैले 2002 मा मैले एसएलसी दिने बेलामा चाहिँ अनि त्यसपछि मैले अहिलेसम्म हुन्छ नि होइन के अरे होइन छुँदैन त पछि 2004 2005 तिर आएको मानस यु नो मानस र म त हामी त अब way back होइन मानस र म त we spend New Year's together होइन birthday we try to stay together but New Year मा चाहिँ we spend together yeah होइन recall the year नेप्साइरसको चाहिँ अलिक पछि आयो जिपीको चाहिँ जिपी चाहिँ 2000 होइन 2000 मा जिपी आएको हो अनि त्यसपछि 2003 मा चाहिँ उनीहरूको गीत आएको होइन अनि अफकोर्स त्यतिखेर चाहिँ इफ आई एम नट मिस्टेकन त्यतिखेर चाहिँ निर्णय दाई अनि स्यामीको पनि थियो होइन स्यामी सम्राट
He was once a judge in a show that I went to way back in the day. Sammy Dai अनि के भन्छ निर्णय दाई with his red cap classic always. So that was way back in the day when कति 2013 तिर थियो दाई अनि त्यतिखेर they told us कि like दाई came from New Zealand and he's going back in like 7 years भनेर भनेको थियो. So I know him from there.
You know him from there. 2000 if I'm not mistaken along this time होइन NSK दाई पनि 2000 day was like some होइन of course he gave me a break on radio होइन अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ अनि त्यसपछि I think who came if I'm not mistaken Unity came over. It was Adre, it was Asif Dai, it was DA69, and then these guys did the song. I still remember. Why I remember this because I played on TV.
Is it the one? She's the bomb.
She's the bomb.
Oh my god! So crazy story. Crazy story is like class 9 मा थियो म त्यो गीत आउँदाखेरि होइन अनि हाम्रो क्लास 9 मा चाहिँ नेपाली सरले जहिले पनि everybody roll number wise चाहिँ क्लासको अगाडि आएर प्लेटफर्ममा लाइक आफ्नो ट्यालेन्ट देखाऊ भन्थ्यो क्या सो आई ह्याड द बल्स टु बी लाइक होइन के अरे सी इज द बम गाइदिएको थिएँ क्या मैले एन्ड द टिचर लिटरली टुक मी टु द प्रिन्सिपल अफिस एन्ड ही वाज लाइक तेरो बाउमा बोलाइदिउँ यसो छाडा गीत गाउँछस् क्लासमा लाइक आई डिडन्ट इभन नो वाट द सङ मेन्ट वे ब्याक इन द डे राइट
सिस बमको भिडियो हेर्नु त मैले कति भयो पुरानो भिडियोहरू हेर्नु न हामीले हेर्न त मिल्छ नि होइन हामीले हेर्न मिल्छ नि होइन भिडियो मलाई त नस्टाल्जिक हुन्छ आई युज्ड टु प्ले अन टिभी म्यान ब्याक इन द डे 2008 तिर
बसको रेडियोमा सुन्थेँ क्या स्कुल बसबाट घरबाट बस के अरे स्कुल जाने बसमा रेडियोमा
तिमी कहिले एसएलसी पास गरेको
म 2010 मा एसएलसी पास गरेको
मैले बजाएको गीत सुन्दै होला त्यसो
हो सो लाइक आई बी लाइक त्यो गीतहरू क्या के भन्छ च्याङबा
डिजे राजु यो ऊ हो नि सिज द बम होइन हो त ऊ
रातमा तिमीले चाहिँ चल्को लाइक कान्तिहाल्यो दाइ क्रेजी म्यान Where's the volume though?
No, we can play music. But there you go, Raj Dai, होइन
म प्रेममा जीवनको पहिलो पटक र मलाई थाहा छ यो साँचो हो sitting there in the building, man.
We need to make sure that we give a shout out to my brother and he's coming very soon. सुन्दाईको त्यो ऊ के अरे नयाँ सो आएको छ कि लेट्स गिभ अ शाउट आउट टु हिम ही इज डुइङ अ सो एक्स चेक गरे है आई वान्ट गिभ हिम अ शाउट आउट स्कोरबोर्ड चाहिँ कुन एपिसोड पुगेको छ एकपल्ट हेरेर त डबल चेक गरेर त लेट्स गिभ हिम अ नाइस शाउट आउट एज वेल
When you say he's got a show coming out, like
he has a show. He's worked for television. I know he worked for television.
National television. No, I know he was a sports. I know.
Time,
the sports section was handled by Sudhin Dai.
Exactly. And he's doing his old show, okay, on social media, if I'm not mistaken.
He actually commented on Novocaine when the video came out. He was like, "Dude, this is crazy. Keep it up."
I'm going to Australia. I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up with him. Right? Oh, there you go.
So
a big shout out to him.
That's crazy, man. Shout out. He's one of the OGs. If you think about it, he paved the way for all of us to be whatever we are today. Him, and all these other rappers before us.
Yeah. So मैले त्यही भने नि होइन I'm friends with all of the guys. They're all guys. With the new guys, like I'm trying to understand the music too. I know. I'll call you a new guy too, bro. Even though you've been around for a long time.
I would love to be always known as the new guy. Definitely. Yes.
And I'm trying to. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to like catch up with everybody. You know, because I love the music. I know. I like the old stuff. Okay, like old like 80s 90s stuff. Right, like if Ice Cube stuff like that. Dr. Dre stuff like that. I always like it. I know. It's like things that are fun.
Things that invoke a different kind of emotion in you in a way.
More 80s ko 80s ma जन्मे मान्छे हो हैन त्यो 90s तिरको
different nostalgia hit गर्छ त्यसले
त्यो भाइब जुन थियो नि हामी हुर्किँदाखेरि रेडियोमा सुन्ने हुन्छ नि हैन कतैबाट हुन्छ नि हैन त्यसपछि 2000s तिर चाहिँ कस्तो भन्दा MTV आएको थियो MTV came right when MTV came you saw everything my brother like I saw Snoop Dogg on MTV and I was like whoa
I actually used to listen to Hits FM on radio, and they had this weekly. I don't know, it was Tuesday or Thursdays. They used to have this top 10 Hollywood charting songs. That was my plug for like all Bairako Gitaru until some dude in my school, I don't remember, he gave me a pen drive full of all these hip hop songs, and I was like, "Holy shit, you kill! This is me. This is the personality I resonate with, I connect with a lot. Like the whole thing about everything about hip hop, I love. I feel like you said, 80s it came into prevalence. 80s, end of 70s, 80s prevalence ma aako hip hop, and ever since then it has had different forms.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, to hip hop ko spirit huncha, that's always been the same. It's like do the best you can with the best you have, and leave it up to God. Keep hustling, man. Like
70s,
keep grinding.
I think 70s, New York, Detroit, and I believe it started from that. Like you said, I'm completely agreeing with you on that. And then now, like coming to this, I know we've got fantastic rappers, like fantastic music from Yama. Just saying, we have fantastic music now. We have balanced music, mere balanced music. And now, like coming to you, we got your music. We got such interesting people in between.
Such a wide spectrum of music.
We got Unique. Big shout out to my brother Unique. He's helped me a lot for a lot of things as well. Dong. Like, I know sometimes you guys don't agree with each other.
Definitely. I also want to be very clear in this regard. Is like,
I've heard. I don't know.
Nah. There are a lot of things being heard and said and whatever. But like at the end of the day, for me, I want to see everybody eat. I want to see everybody win. I don't want another rapper to be unsuccessful ever, even if it's at my expense. I don't give a fuck. I want everybody, like, especially even Unique is a year younger than me. So I have always seen it. I've always looked at him with a certain level of compassion and love and empathy. It's never been hatred. Whatever happens on the mic, it's a very competitive thing. Like I always give the example of basketball, right? Kobe Dwayne Wade mathi dunk hane 360. After the game, he's not going to be like, "Fuck you, I hate you," bhanदैन kya. That was the game, bro. And on a human level, I got no problems with you. None at all.
So you love everybody?
Definitely. For me to be existing.
You want to say right now you love everybody?
Definitely. For me to be existing in this moment right now, here with you, and maybe an hour ago, wherever I was, millions of people made millions of sacrifices just for that moment to exist. So I'm grateful for everything. I have no hatred in my heart for anybody at all. Anything that is perceived as hatred is competitiveness, and I'm a very competitive motherfucker. Whenever I'm on the mic, I'm like, I'm the best at what I do.
So to all the people who do not like you, what do you want to go ahead and say to them? Even in nephop?
It's going to be tough, because I'm not going to stop. I don't care if you don't like me. If you like me, it'll be easy for you, because I'm going to keep doing epic shit. And you'll be like, whoa, I love this guy. But if you hate me, I'm going to keep doing epic shit, and people are going to keep advocating about how great things that I have done are. And it's going to be very difficult for you to keep going against me.
Maybe why don't you just collaborate with them and work together, and all of you guys do epic stuff together?
I have never made a collaboration happen in my life unless it's come naturally. It needs to come naturally for me. It needs to... I'm not very... I would not say not open about features. I'm very open about features and collaborations, but it's got to be right. It's got to be for a cause भनौँ न, not in the cause कि like social cause type को नै, तर त्यो मोमेन्टमा फ्लो भएर आउनु पऱ्यो क्या त्यो collaboration, rather than be like हामी मिल्नलाई गरौँ न collaboration. Nah, I don't believe in that. किनभने I believe in the universe. I believe in how things work, and I leave it up to the universe for things to happen. So I don't believe in collaboration for the sake of collaboration. I believe in collaborations that happen magically. I believe.
So sometimes maybe like just eat up each other's ego and just be like, all right, let's do something. Why the hell not?
Nah, definitely. I'm always for
You're
that.
open for that.
I'm always for that. But at the same time, I'm also very uncompromising of my vision and why I started this journey in the first place. So if it does not align with what I have in mind, I'm going to be very strictly, I'm not going to be a part of it. Definitely. But if it aligns with everything, it has to align. Milnu paryo kya. Jabarjasti for the sake of collaboration. Like Unique and me, we got a beef in 2017 or some shit. I would not say beef actually. I would say we had a competitive thing going on in 2017 where he put out a diss track about me and I put out a diss track about him, and then he put another one about me, and then for years, even till now, I'm like, he throws subliminals at me and I throw subliminals at him, and only we know it actually. उसलाई थाहा हुन्छ कि ल यसले मलाई भन्यो साला भनेर थाहा हुन्छ, मलाई थाहा हुन्छ साला फेरि छोड्दैन त यार यसले, त्यो टाइपको हुन्छ.
सुन्ने मान्छेलाई
रमाइलो लागिरहेको छ होइन. मलाई चाहिँ नि द्याट इज फन एन्ड गुड होइन, बट आई डोन्ट लाइक इट वेन इट गेट्स लाइक for me it's not personal. I don't hate you. बुझेन. Like if I'm saying something on my, so I have worked with Pam in the past in let's say 2017 18 I worked with her. I still make fun of her in my songs, but it's not because I hate her. It's because I empathize with whatever she went through. I feel compassionate for her, so that's my way of giving the message out always. Like that's the only way I talk.
Why don't I would love to say I would love to hear a song if possible. You and Unique working together.
We already have one out. Something
new.
Something new. Okay, something new.
Is that possible?
It is. I would say it.
Can I help make that happen?
It's
Do you want me to call Unique right now?
What I would say is it's not impossible at this point, because
it would be fun, man. Like I'm sure as a fan, like it would be great.
Like I don't know why I am always thought of as the villain and the guy who's against everybody.
I don't think you're a villain.
I know. People who know me don't think I'm a villain. People who know me don't think I'm a villain. People who don't know me are kind of the people who have this. I've met so many people in my life where they're like, the first time I met you, I thought you were an asshole.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Why would people say that to you, bro?
I don't know, but they're like, I thought you were an asshole, but then I get to talk to you for a couple of times and you're a nice dude. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I've been telling people I'm a nice dude. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. I came from some other place, man.
People who bring me aloo nimki are my friends, bro.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, man.
No, I'm joking.
Probably not the last time we'll meet, definitely.
No. This is the beginning of a long friendship, bro.
Nah, I would never say कि like कोही सँग पनि गीत, like even with Mahesh सँग, Dong सँग नै पनि, or like को थियो अरू, like so many people have had problems with me in my past career, you know. And I feel like it was all professional. For me, it was never personal in the sense like I don't like you and I don't like who you are and I don't want you to exist type of hatred thing. I get it was like, dude, look at how I do this shit. I'm so good with this shit. None of you can compete with me. And I feel like every person should feel that way when they're doing their job. Otherwise, they're not going to do it well. If you don't believe you're the best at what you do, that's the difference between confidence and overconfidence, I would say. It's like, if you believe you're the best at what you do, is confidence. Overconfidence भनेर जुन मान्छेले भन्छ नि, पर्सेप्सन जुन छ नि ओभरकन्फिडेन्सको, त्यो भनेको चाहिँ के भन्दाखेरि मभन्दा राम्रो कहिले पनि कसैले गर्न सक्दैन भन्नु चाहिँ ओभरकन्फिडेन्स भयो. I believe that I'm the best at what I do, but I also believe that I need to keep working for it every day to maintain it. I read a quote which said, success is never owned, it's rented. You pay the rent every day with hard work. So I believe in that shit.
Let me compliment you on that by saying that you stopped right at the end, brother, not in the middle. Right?
I didn't get you.
I complimented what you just said, and you stop right at the end, not in the middle.
Never.
I know.
Just say, if you look at somebody's journey midway and if it's like it's not a good ending, you'd be like, shit. But you gotta watch the movie till the end. Like Om Shanti Omma bhन्छ नि, picture abhi baki hai mere dost bhन्छ नि. So how can you judge my life or my story until it's over? It's still continuing.
Do you feel you're being judged all the time?
Oh, granted that my dad is a judge. I've been judged all my life. Okay, I'll tell you a story, right? So my dad was very strict. Ever since I was a kid, my mom and dad were very strict. There was like no sleepovers, no going out to play. It's a very scary place. Our country is a very scary place. You got to be safe. You got to study, get a job, right? And I'm always like the troublemaker. I'm like, nah, I want to go play football. I want to do this. I want to do that, right? So, मैले 2000, I don't remember, 14, 15 मा first time घरबाट बाहिर, I actually got a grant from my college to start a business. There was this thing called shout out King's College for supporting my business at the very beginning of my business before it was even registered. So there was this thing called EDC, which was entrepreneurial development incubation type incubation service. I feel like it was EDC. I don't remember the full form. I applied for it. I showed them my business proposal. I gave them a presentation, and the principal actually stood up and he said, "I'm proud of you. What do you want?" And I'm like, I need some money to start my business. So before my company was registered, I had a check for 1 lakh for my business. Then earthquake happened, all that shit. That was when I actually started saying 2024 ma Grammy, because 2014 थियो, and I made a promise to myself कि म 10 वर्षमा नेपालमा Grammy लिएर आउँछु भनेर. That's why it's 2024. So I say that because I believe that I can do it, and I also want other Nepali artists to believe that they can do it too. It's not just म मात्रै ल्याउँछु भने हैन क्या.
सबै मिलेर गरौँ, सबै गरौँ,
सबैजनाले मिलेर गर्यो भने म त इनएभिटेबल देख्छु क्या. बुझेन, लाइक इन द सेन्स कि लाइक पहिलेदेखि बचाउँ के भन्थ्यो 83,000 मेगावाट्स इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नेपालमा डाडा छ भन्छ होइन. अनि त्यो गर्यो भने टन्नै पैसा कमाउँछ. व्हाट आई से इज म्युजिक सिकाऊ क्या यहाँको युथलाई. ड्रगमा लागेको मान्छेहरूलाई रिहेबिलिटेट गर युजिङ म्युजिक, युजिङ स्पोर्ट्स, युजिङ एन्टरटेनमेन्ट, ट्रेन देम. द्याट इज वान थिङ. जस्तै एउटा तिमीले सिरियलको फ्याक्ट्री बनायो अरे क्या, नेरोल्याग जस्तै होइन, त्यसलाई एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी बनाउन यु निड करोडौँ खरबौँ पैसा चाहिन्छ होइन. एउटा रेगुलर मान्छेलाई एउटा डोप आर्टिस्ट बनाउन त्यति धेरै पैसा लाग्दैन क्या. वी क्यान स्टिल क्रिएट एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी प्रडक्ट. सो आई वान्ट नेपाली पिपल टु बिलिभ इन द्याट शिट, राइट? सो coming back to the story is like college gave me money. I started my business. So
you wanted to, you almost started.
No, I started my business. I started my business. अनि दर्ता गर्न मलाई 6 महिना लाग्यो एक्चुअली, बिकज भुइँचालो भर्खर गएको थियो. एन्ड एभ्रिबडी कम्पनी दर्ता गर्न गयो, देयर लाइक राहत दिन गएको छ मान्छे भन्थ्यो. अनि आम लाइक राहत चाहिने मान्छेलाई पहिला देऊ न, अफिसको मान्छेलाई राहत देऊ पहिला. सो इट टुक मी 6 months to just register the company, cash the check. सो बिस्तारै के भयो भन्दाखेरि आई हेड टु स्टे आउटसाइड एन्ड ह्याभ स्लिप ओभर्स एट द स्टुडियो नि. बिकज इफ यु रिमेम्बर भुइँचालो र नाकाबन्दी अलमोस्ट सँगै भएको थियो. अलिकति ग्याप थियो, तर लाइक इन द लङ रन when you think back it feels like happened at the same time. Maybe 2-3 months gap थियो होला, as far as I remember. भुइँचालो गयो, संविधान आयो, संविधान आएको भोलि पर्सिपल्टदेखि नाकाबन्दी भयो, as far as I remember.
Let's double check this. हेर त नाकाबन्दी कहिले थियो भनेर. भुइँचालो 2015 मा गयो अनि नाकाबन्दी
भइसकेपछि चाहिँ आई निडेड टु रेकर्ड सङ्ग्स. अनि दिनभरि चाहिँ मैले जहाँ अफिस खोलेको त्यसको साइडमा चाहिँ कन्स्ट्रक्सन भएर दिनभरि गर्थेँ. आई कुड नट रेकर्ड इन द डे टाइम. सो आई वाज लाइक, आई वेन्ट टु माई ड्याड एन्ड आई वाज लाइक, बाबा आई निड टु स्टे आउटसाइड टु रेकर्ड सङ्ग्स. And he's like, Pardena. And I'm like, Kino, like, listen to, like, hear me out. Listen to my logic. And he's like, Ma jazo. Ma see the decision din suri. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? You should be a rapper. You're coming up with such dope punchlines, bro. Like, ma jazo, ma logic sundina, ma reasoning sundina, ma argument sundina, ma see the decision din su. Bosnum pardena re. And I also said, मैले खास permission मागे होइन, I'm just notifying you, so I'm gonna stay outside. And his last words to me in that conversation was, ध्यान दिएर रेकर्ड दिए, रातभरि हल्ला गरेर पुलिस आउला त्यहाँ. And the whole night I was recording like, I don't remember the name of the song, but I was recording like, पुलिस आउला भनेर. So I've been judged all my life ever since I was in school or whatever. But I feel like everybody's judged, man. Everybody's judged. Like, you walk into the room and 5 people are staying here, they're going to look at you and they're going to build a perception of you. That's life. I don't mind being judged. I know at the end of the day, भगवानले सबै हेरिरहेछ. भगवानसँग खाता छ, यसले यो राम्रो गर्यो, यो नराम्रो गर्यो भनेर. I don't believe in heaven, hell or none of that shit, but I believe there's a higher power who's watching. Just anytime something bad happens in my life, my mom is frustrated and I'm always saying, भगवानले हेरिरहेछ नि मामु. कर्म योग रे क्या. मलाई मेरो बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड अङ्कित भन्ने is my best friend, also one of my managers, and he says, हाम्रो गीतामा लेखेको छ भन्थ्यो उसले. गीतामा अब हाम्रो कुनै ग्रन्थमा लेखेको छ, आई डोन्ट रिमेम्बर, तर के भन्छ, कर्मयोग रे. कर्मयोग भनेको चाहिँ किन काम गर्ने बिर्सिने रे क्या. कामबाट रिजल्ट पनि एक्सपेक्ट नगर्ने रे क्या. सो आई डु अ सङ, आइ एम नट एक्सपेक्टिङ इट टु बी बिग, नन अफ द्याट. गीत गरी बिर्सेँ क्या. पछि गएर दिस हेज स्टार्टेड ह्यापनिङ टु मी कि लाइक आई मिट समबडी एन्ड देयर लाइक, दाइ यो लाइन क्या डोप थियो. एन्ड आम लाइक, कुन गीतको लाइन हो यो? मेरै लाइन हो, राम्रो रहेछ, यादै छैन. एन्ड आई लभ इट. I've worked so hard, I've worked so much, I can't keep track no more.
How do you keep your memory sharp?
I don't know, man. I have a very...
You just said something very interesting right now. You just said that let's get kids off drugs, and get them into other things. Get them into music. Get them into
sports,
this,
entertainment, whatever. म त के भन्छु तिम्रो ग्रुप सर्कलमा 5 जना छ अरे हैन, एकजनाले र्याप हान्छ र तिमीलाई र्याप हान्न आउँदैन भने तिमी र्यापर नबन, तिमी उसको म्यानेजर बन. अहिले नेपाली हिपहप इन्डस्ट्रीमा र्यापर धेरै भइसक्यो, म्यानेजर कोही छैन. म्यानेजरहरू चाहिरहेछ क्या र्यापरहरूलाई अहिले. I'm trying to build managers in my company अहिले.
Okay, so how do you keep your memory sharp?
I don't know, man. I don't sleep, I guess that's the key. I don't sleep a lot. I have a very photographic memory, in a sense. I remember a lot of crazy shit that other people... I've said things to people where they're like, how is memory? How do you remember this? I don't know. It's always been sharp. I don't know, ever since I was a kid. I remember weird things.
I try to go ahead and I don't have a sharp memory.
Really?
China.
Oh,
Of course, China. And you know how I try to go ahead and enhance it?
How?
Try to make it slightly better?
How is it?
By drinking a lot of water and not taking any substance. I
Yeah,
try.
Definitely. Water is key.
Do you take any substance?
Not really.
Do you take any support, any help?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Nicotine maybe? That's it.
I've actually quit smoking cigarettes too.
But you're taking nicotine?
Yeah, I'm taking nicotine.
So nicotine is the only thing?
Definitely, yes, sir.
I know. So you're like me then. त्यसको मतलब चाहिँ you're only drinking like a lot of water and you're like trying to get focused.
Water also is a problem, man. Like people always tell me drink a lot of water. Nah, not right now. Not right now. I've been trying to regulate that.
I want Malaysia, of course, Lauri.
But also, wait, just before that.
Tell me.
A lot of people tell me I do drugs. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Right?
Why is that?
I'll tell you. That's the thing about confidence, I guess, because like every time I talk about music, right, I always feel like I start getting really passionate. If I start talking about my music, now even at this point, I'm already like in my head, I'm Travis Scott or Kanye West already. Because I've already seen it happen in my head. I worked hard enough. I know one day. मेरोमा भइसक्यो, मेरो दिमागमा भइसक्यो. You can call me delusional crazy, I don't give a fuck. मेरो दिमागमा भइसक्यो. I'm always talking like I'm there. And if I start talking like I'm there, even my dad says, "Eli ke khara se kya aza?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying, bro? I'm just being confident." Ani Nepalma, I feel like again, yeah, our society is. I feel for my society actually every day. म घरबाट पाटन आउँछु, पाटनबाट लाभी मल जान्छु. Those are like my most frequent places. And whenever I go there, घरदेखि पाटनसम्म you see 5 or 6 things that are very depressing, very sad, just regular shit नै क्या. जस्तै म एउटा इक्जाम्पल दिन्छु. त्यो शङ्खमुलदेखि पाटनको एउटा सानो पुल छ नि, त्यो मलाई कहिले काहीँ स्कुटरमा जाँदाखेरि भत्किन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ क्या, डर लाग्छ क्या मलाई, because it's been there for so many years, it's never been reconstructed, never been maintained. So I feel like
I think it's maintenance चाहिँ गरे जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई, if I'm not mistaken.
अलकत्र अलिकति थप्या होला त्यसमा हैन, but मलाई चाहिँ झर्छ जस्तो डर लाग्छ क्या. मलाई डर लाग्छ because it's I've seen it since I was a kid, be there in that state हैन. अनि मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि नेपालमा कतिजना मान्छेहरू they stop believing in their dreams क्या. Confidence हुँदैन मान्छेमा. So whenever I talk with confidence, they are like, यसले के खाएर आएको, he's on something. And usually I'm just on myself.
You're high on life.
I'm high on life all the fucking time. I don't need to do substance to be high. Like मलाई एउटा गीत गराइदियो हैन 12 घण्टाको लागि I'm going to be tuning at a very high frequency because I'm inspired. I believe in physics भनौँ न, in a sense कि like the highest frequencies, highest band के भन्छ त्यसलाई,
your bandwidth is always high.
I'm always high. Like the frequency, the emotions with the highest frequencies are inspiration, love, gratitude, and
ambition.
Ambition too. Every time I try to remind myself like I'm grateful just to be breathing. Do you know that? Like, of course you do. The Prem Dai who recently committed suicide in Banjur Chowk, right? Like that is the state of our country right now. And त्यो सबैको बिचमा if म यहाँ बिचमा बसेर if I say like ग्रामी लिएर आउँछु एक दिन म, like के खाएर आइस् त भनेर भनिहाल्छ क्या मान्छेले. I know that, but I never do no substance.
So Grammy को हिसाबले, of course 2024 भने हैन,
yes,
एक वर्ष लागि
छ definitely.
How do we
work
get
extra hard. I tell my producer, it's like we gotta stop fucking around and we gotta start working really hard because our next things are album मध्ये एउटाले ग्रामी लिएर आउनुपर्छ.
Sure. I wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Laure यहाँ थियो कि, लाउरेसँग बसेर कन्भर्सेसन गर्दाखेरि हैन, of course Laure got into trouble हैन. अनि कतै न कतैबाट लाउरेले चाहिँ कस्तो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा के गरेको छ भने तिमीले पर्पल सुरुमै हामीले अफ एयर पर्पल आर्टको कुरा गर्दै थियौँ नि होइन लाउरेले एउटा कस्तो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा गरेको छ कि जुन म कहिले पनि बिर्सिनँ उसले सबैजनालाई आई नेभर आस्क एनिथिङ टु माई लिसनर्स होइन नेभर डु म कहिले पनि केही पनि मागेको छैन मैले होइन मैले एकचोटि मागेँ मैले लाउरेसँग चाहिँ लाउरेलाई पर्पल हार्ट चाहियो भनेर भने मैले सबैजनालाई पर्पल हार्ट पठाइदिनु भनेर भने कि होइन अफकोर्स त्यो किन लाउरेले भनेको लाउरेले मलाई मेसेज पठायो भने थ्याङ्क यू भनेको थियो कि होइन सन्जय मलाई कतिजनाले पर्पल हार्ट पठाउनु भएको छ भनेर होइन वाइ हि सेड द्याट भनेर मैले सोचेँ कि होइन हि सेड द्याट बिकज हि निडेड सपोर्ट हि निडेड सपोर्ट होइन we can talk about Grammy, we can talk about so many different things. I know we can talk about music as well. The topic that I wanted to pick right now was a lot of friends maybe are in drugs right now. A lot of friends. हुन्छ नि कति समस्या होला के होला कसो होला त्यो आफ्नो ठाउँमा होला होइन तिमीले भनेको मलाई बडो मन पर्यो कि म्युजिक छ नि म्युजिकले तिमीलाई बचाउँछ
डेफिनेटली
तिमीलाई म्युजिक पाउने बित्तिकै इफ यु क्यान क्रिएट म्युजिक इफ यु गेट द्याट अपर्च्युनिटी टु क्रिएट म्युजिक वेन यु वेक अप तिमीलाई त्यतिले पुग्दो रहेछ अरू केही पनि चाहिँदैन भनेर भन्यो होइन हाउ एन्ड वाट वुड यु वान्ट टु गो एड एन्ड से टु समबडी यङ हुन्छ नि हु माइट बी थिङ्किङ अबाउट लाइक मेबी any kind of substance. I don't even care. Whatever substance. From there's no basic to a substance. Addiction is addiction.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you like to go ahead and say to that young person?
I have a very simple theory when it comes to this because like I'm a heavy smoker myself, right? I've been a heavy smoker myself. So what I would say is never let the substance consume you. Consume the substance, whatever substance it may be, until it does not harm you or people around you. तिमी फङ्सनल छौ भने केही प्रब्लम भएन एट द एन्ड अफ द डे लाइक राइट सो इन द सेन्स कि लाइक हेल्थ हेजर्डहरू हुने आफ्नो ठाउँमा छ डा आई फिल लाइक मेन प्रब्लम कहाँ थाहा छ हाम्रो देशमा इज लाइक पिपल थिङ्क एडिक्सन अर्कै खालको रोग हो क्या पिपल थिङ्क एडिक्सन इज अ फिजिकल रोग क्या अनि एडिक्सन इज अ साइकोलोजिकल रोग क्या इफ यु रिसर्च अबाउट एनी काइन्ड अफ एडिक्सन युजली इज रिलेटेड टु ट्रमा इन चाइल्डहुड. So I have fans who DM me and say, I used to do drugs. Your music helped me get through drugs. I'm clean now. And every time I feel like doing drugs, I listen to your music and it still gives me strength. So what I would say is stay strong. Don't like what the society judging you does not matter. Like your drugs kurama. If you got into the habit, right? I have friends who got into the mere आँखा अगाडि मेरो साथीहरूले drugs first time try गरेछ and in my head wasn't at the role of a dice. It could have been me. I could have been the guy who tried it. I'm never looking down on somebody who has a problem with anything. Like I know like I was raised in a way where I was taught to be kind to everybody because everybody's got their own struggle, everybody's got their own story. So I'm never looking down on somebody like, oh, you let drugs khada raisa. The fuck, I'm never thinking like that. But I also at the same time what I would say is we should never let anything consume us. So if anybody's into drugs, into substance or whatever right now, I have a song in khas mero recent 2-3 months ma chahi I had the album ready actually and my laptop crashed. I'm not said this out to anybody actually. It's the first time I'm saying it. So I had 2 drafts of an album ready. I was going to pick the best ones and mix all of those again and then my laptop crashed. So I had to release all those songs on YouTube all at once because that was the only way to put it out because I could not go back and improve the song or whatever. Right? So there's a song in there in those 18 songs I released in the last 2-3 months. The 18 songs with एउटा गीतमा चाहिँ के भनेको छ भन्दाखेरि you know rap been my rehab. I don't know what a rapper needs a rehab for भनेर क्या. If you're doing this thing correctly, I feel like anybody who's addicted to any substance, find something that is more addictive to you than the substance. You'll find something. How do you define your passion in life is if you are filled with an unexplainable and unending amount of energy in your body while you're doing something, that's your passion. Yeah? So when people don't find that, they look for these other earthly pleasures, earthly peaks in dopamine भनौँ न होइन अनि त्यो seek गर्न छोडेर if you seek a purpose, that's going to give you way more than any drug could ever give you. I have भनेन like मेरो best friend is in America अहिले मेरो high school best friend Ankit Jangkhadka, shout out. He's my brother. He's been supporting me since day one of my career. मलाई एक्चुअली उसको घरमा लगेर एमिनेमको सुपरम्यान सुनाएर रियल हिपहप बनायो भन्नेको he was one of the first dudes to say that and I was like fuck यो त डोप रहेछ राइट सो त्यसले मलाई 12 मा हुँदाखेरि he was like जम काले भन्थ्यो मलाई स्कुलमा होइन काले जम आज डिभी भरौँ भनेर भने I was like fuck मुला कहाँ पर्छ डिभी हामीलाई मुला भन्नु both of us. Okay, he went to do the DV. I stayed in the cafe. I smoked, right? He, like DV poriरहेको. Crazy shit. I was like, it could have been me. I'm not saying like more host.
It could have been both of you.
It could have been both of us. It could have been me. It could have been just him. It was him. It was written in his destiny. And I'm very grateful that he's there because he's never stopped supporting me.
तिमीलाई DV परेको भए? तिमीलाई पनि परेको भए?
I would probably be back in Nepal by now. I'd probably be back in Nepal because I have too much love for this country. It's not like I haven't had the opportunity to go abroad. Like when my mom first, actually, म पहिला नेपालीमा rap हान्दिन थिएँ. If you follow my career, my 2020 देखि बल्ल regularly नेपालीमा हान्न थाल्यो. Because मलाई नेपालीमा rap हान्न आउँदैन थियो क्या. मलाई इङ्ग्लिसमा नि हान्न आउँदैन थियो 2020 सम्म त एक्चुअली सिकिरहेको थिएँ म भन्छु म होइन. एभ्रिबडी एल्स लाइक होइन त राम्रै हान्थिस् बट मलाई थाहा छ म राम्रो हान्दिनँ थिएँ भनेर होइन. अनि पहिला म नेपालीमा नहान्दाखेरि चाहिँ मामुले बाबाले सुन्दाखेरि अरू बहिनीले एनीबडी सुन्दाखेरि बहिनीले अलिअलि बुझ्थ्यो बट लाइक मम्मु बाबाले सुन्दाखेरि चाहिँ इङ्ग्लिसमा मात्रै भयो बुझिएन नेपालीमा गर टाइप पनि भन्थ्यो बट एट द सेम टाइम दे वुड अल्सो से विदेश जा. So I gave my SATs. I got 1680s on my SATs. No prep. That's a crazy story.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, I was ready to go. Mala actually bizarre मेरो मामुले she took me to a shopping store and she was like बाबुलाई अमेरिका जानलाई perfume किनिदिन्छु and shit and she bought me a perfume. I was ready to go. But मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो फिल हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि I actually met somebody yesterday for a sponsorship thing, not for music, for sports. And he said ki,
For sports?
Yeah, for sports.
What sport? What sport?
I'm also involved with a couple of football and basketball organizations. That's also my love.
Football
yeah, if I was not a rapper. Actually, मलाई बच्चामा football player हुन मन थियो. Everybody's like, यसले हुँदैन. And then I was a very good judo player also. I was almost black belt. Brown 2 सम्म पुगेको थियो. SLC भएर belt test दिन पाएन, otherwise I would be black belt. Yeah. Like that is why I'm always slim. बच्चादेखि नै टोन भयो क्या बडी मेरो. Like वर्कआउट गर्न लाग्यो बच्चादेखि गुरु.
अहिले पनि गर्छौ?
अहिले गर्दैन. I don't need to. मैले जति खाए पनि जिउमा लाग्दैन. God bless. Thank you God. Slim shady. There's a real Slim Shady in me.
Metabolize.
Yeah, I metabolize real quick, I guess. होइन. अनि I wanted to be a judo player, but everybody was like, यो पनि हुँदैन. And then I found music and everybody again said यसले नि हुँदैन. And I was like, nah, fuck you. यो पालि हुन्छ. जहिले जे पनि हुँदैन भनेर त म चाहिँ के गर्ने त टाइपले. So this is my dream ever since I was out of school होइन. त्योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ since I had a lot of love for sports and I still follow sports a lot. I'm an Arsenal fan. अहिले it's cool to say it because we're at the top of the league होइन.
Sure, man.
But for the last 10 years you cannot say I'm an Arsenal fan, right? So like I used to follow Arsenal a lot. I follow football a lot. Basketball, I'm a fanatic basketball fan. And I have a lot of love for the sports. And Jay-Z is one of my role models. And Jay-Z पनि after music, he got into sports management. So they blueprint follow गरेर. I'm also involved in sports. अनि त्यसको लागि चाहिँ I met somebody yesterday and he said कि like नेपालको market is a virgin market. And this is facts. Like cause Nepal, Kathmandu right now is probably New York from 1920s, okay? Before depression गएर. This is a virgin market. यहाँ केही भएको छैन. यहाँनिर if you come up with an idea, most of the times it'll be like first time in Nepal नै हुन्छ क्या. Because बाहिर त्यो भइसक्यो. You have the blueprint for its success, but नेपालमा त्यो भइसकेको छैन क्या already. So it's a virgin market. That's one of the reasons I rationalize it, but I don't know. I was born here. I was raised here. I love this country too much to ever. म actually Bangladesh गएको थिएँ. That's the furthest I've been abroad ever. अनि Bangladesh एक हप्ता बसेर आउँदाखेरि when I landed back in Kathmandu, airport land हुने बित्तिकै जहाँ माटो देखेँ नि, I took the mato and I was like, fuck you मेरो fucking, this is my motherland. I love this place. I love everything here. I don't care how much it sucks here. I love it here. I love this country too much. So DV परायो भने I would come back होला. In that is proof because Ankit पनि he comes back every 1 or 2 years and he tours with me throughout Nepal and then he goes back again. अस्तिको पालि बिचारा कोभिडमा आएको थियो. कोभिडमा यहीँ अड्किएको for such a long time. It's so surreal कि like मसँगै हुर्क्या साथी he has to go to भिसाको अफिस and नेपालको भिसा लिनुपर्ने रे क्या उसले चाहिँ because he's like रवि दाइले चाहिँ गरेन. He had to actually go do that. Ravi Dai didn't go and extend his visa or like didn't take none of that shit, but he actually had to go and do that shit, right? So like it's surreal to see that. But जसरी उसलाई चाहिँ DV पढेर he went to America and he kind of has his life sorted भनौँ because his whole family is there अहिले. Everybody's living well, God bless. अनि त्यो भयो, there's that one spectrum. And I've also had friends from my high school जसले चाहिँ मेरै अगाडि लाइफमा first time they did brown sugar and they did this drug and that drug and they was like काली हान्न रमाइलो हुन्छ. Like when I was in Bara, people would be like काली bad हान्न.
You've never touched drugs?
I've never touched drugs, man.
In your life?
Never in my life. I've never even like there's 2 times people have tried it in front of me, and I didn't even know they were doing drugs. I thought they were just doing some weird shit.
You're just high on life and high on music.
24/7.
Yeah, good for you, bro.
24/7, man.
Good for you, man.
24/7,
I'm really happy for that. I know.
Yeah.
I was looking at this.
Wait, before you continue, I'm so sorry to cut you off like that.
Go for it.
Like anybody out there, if you're doing drugs, don't let the society judge you. If anybody has the right to judge you, it's yourself. And if you look within, you'll always find the strength to battle any demon that you're fighting right now. Whatever demon it might be. I have fought demons in my life. It may not be drug addiction, but I have fought demons in my life. I have gone through depression. I've gone through that, all of that shit. I don't want to publicize it and be like the poster boy for mental health or some shit like that. But I've gone through demons. I have faced demons myself. And every time, the only time I've ever gotten through those demons is by finding the strength within. It's within you. You have to fight it and find something that's way more purposeful than whatever is causing you problems. Really. And nobody, like as a society, as a family, as friend circle, we are not supposed to look down on these people. We're never, the people treat like, oh, you're a tape type of mentalities. We need to get rid of that shit. Because we need to come at grips with how fucked up our country is and why these kids are getting into drugs in the first place. Kya? त्यो बसन्तपुरमा कतिजना डेन्ड्राइट सुङ्छ भन्छ नि, दे स्निफ that dendrite हैन. A lot of them do that to get rid of hunger. क्या त्यो तान्यो भने भोक लाग्दैन भन्छ क्या उनीहरूले. So we need to be real about the problem, and that's the only way we can solve it. So meanwhile we're solving the problem, we're not supposed to look down on these people. They're going through some serious shit, man. Mero high school ko best friend was heavy into drugs, in and out of jail almost every 2-3 months, in and out of rehab. He is abroad. He's doing pretty good, Panisnesu, and I'm really proud of him.
Good for him.
I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to be out here saying this guy did drugs or whatever, but like I'm also very happy for him because we lost contact after he started doing drugs because he was lost in his own world. And in our rehab, it's kind of hard. God bless if that's the case, man. God bless if that's the case. And I hope he's proud that his friend made something out of life. Let's hope so.
You're proud of him too.
I'm always proud of him. I believe that someday we'll cross paths and he's going to be a part of whatever I'm doing. Sure. He's a genius.
The thing is, Abhishek, drugs, like you said, drugs is a part of every single country. It's a part of every single place in this planet. There's a problem, like you said, you have to fight it. Yeah, you have to fight it. You have to fight it with here. I know, of course. Yes, I've talked about drugs so many times in this podcast, and people can go back and listen to it all the time. Nephop. I know who termed it nephop? मैले हेर्दै थिएँ के हैन. कसले मलाई नास भन्दै थियो के हैन.
हो र हैन एजे दाइ भन्ने जस्तो लाग्छ है मलाई चाहिँ.
हो एजे हो.
That's what they say, man.
I was confused. I wanted to ask you, do you know, I wanted to get to the bottom of this. It would be very interesting.
The most I know is that AJ Dai came up with it. Yeah. But I'm not a big fan of the word myself.
You're a website race, okay? Yeah. We'll get to that. You're a website race, nephop.org भनेर एउटा वेबसाइट छ त्यो वेबसाइट छ कि छैन हैन.
I'm pretty sure that is AJ Dai.
यो अफ एयर कोसँग पो कुरा गर्दै थिएँ मैले हैन. एकजना very famous rapper was here and then I was talking about this के हैन, and I kind of wanted to understand के nephop भन्ने term चाहिँ कसले हालेर रहेछ भनेर के हैन.
As far as my knowledge is concerned, it's AJ Dai. Yeah, as far as I know. That's what they tell me. Everyone's like, who came up with this word?
I want to understand who came up with this word. के तिम्रो 2009 भने तिमीलाई पनि त्यो हुन्छ नि हैन, कता न कता रिकल त हुन्छ होला यो हैन. यो बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ. मानस र मैले यसको बारेमा कन्भर्सेसन गरेको थिएँ के अफ एयर हैन. But I completely forgot about it.
I'm pretty sure it's AJ Dai. As far as I know, he coined the term भन्छ क्या. He coined the term nephop भन्छ. So that's, as far as my knowledge is concerned, it's AJ Dai. But I've never again been concerned with that term or anything in general because anything of that sort in general because I'm more about just making music. I don't like think about all that shit banum in a sense like nephop or hip hop. I don't even like. I used to be an active debater in this. I would be like, don't use the word nephop. At this point in my life, I'm in a state where I'm like, say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. Like Izo Asti Exana Baisang, I had a studio session. His name is G Buddha. G Buddha. And he's also going to be signed to iCrown pretty soon. Ani, that's my company. That's our company, not just mine. It's like all of us, you know. Ani, he said this beautiful thing which I really love. It's going to stick with me for quite some time. It's like, take your time, but don't waste mine. You can take all the time you need, but don't ever waste mine. So similarly, say whatever you want to say. Do whatever you want to do. As long as it's not fucking with my space, I'm okay with it.
So you work with young people all the time?
I love working with young people.
You work with young people all the time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's their perspective when they come into the scene? Is it love for the music? Do they want to make money? How does it work?
I only work with people who have genuine love for the music. I always try to make sure, because I see a few indicators. Like, does this guy love music or not? But there's 5 or 6 things that you can probably like 5-6 meetings with थाहा so if this person is in it for the money, or if it's for the fame, or if it's for the love of the game. I'm always picking love for the game, because if you have love for the game, your fame र money byproduct भएर आउँछ, byproduct भएर आउँछ हैन, त्यो generate गर्न गाह्रो छैन. यो love for the game generate गर्न एकदम challenging छ. So every time I meet somebody, or if I'm thinking of working with somebody, म उसको आँखामा कतिको आगो छ भनेर मात्रै हेर्छु. That's it. If he has that fire in him and if he's willing to work for it, यार मलाई आउँदैन थियो क्या. म FL Studio भन्ने सफ्टवेयर युज गर्छु, त्यसको अगाडि म बसेर रोको छु क्या.
किन?
लाइक के हो यो, मैले बुझेन मामु यो के हो बनाएन भनेर रोको छु क्या. Literally I've cried, and then 5 or 10 days later I made my first beat. So if you have love for it, you're gonna go through obstacles and like you're gonna learn and you're gonna do it. But अरू चिजहरू गाह्रो छ क्या.
As a Grammy भन्दैछ हामीले हैन. Let's think about a couple of years from now, right?
Sir.
Forget about 2024. And I'm just going to talk a couple of years from now. है त, hypothetical कुरा गर्नु है त. Imagine your song.
I don't
I can imagine. No, you don't need to imagine. I can imagine.
Yes,
No,
sir.
I know.
Yes,
Abhishek,
sir. Yes, sir.
imagine.
Yes, sir.
I'm imagining right now.
Alright.
I know it's my imagination. I know
Yes, sir.
that my brother,
Yes,
I
sir.
know, Abhishek.
Yes, sir.
How do I say it? Abhishek aka Nasty or Nasty aka Abhishek? Whatever.
Whatever. As long as people know me.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't
I know.
mind.
My brother Abhishek
Yeah.
is there.
Yes, sir.
Picking up the Grammy.
Yes, sir.
I know. Of
Yes.
course, you're gonna see. You're Nepalko लागि.
Nepalko लागि. That's gonna be one time I'm gonna wear Daura Sural
Done.
with Nepalko Zanda here.
Done. So
Yes, sir.
it happens.
Yes, sir.
I imagined it. I've imagined it, envisioned it. I know.
Okay.
What would you want to go? What's gonna go in your mind when you're saying that?
When do I get to the studio next, so that I can work on the next song? Because I know the whole world is gonna be watching now. That's it. I've said this to Riot too. It's like, dude, if we win Grammy today, and if tomorrow you don't find me in the studio, slap me. I need to be in the studio again. Because यो गीतले Grammy जित्यो भने योभन्दा better गीतले के गर्छ होला त? And my goal is always to make a better song than my last one. That's it. I'm going to be in the studio the next day. I'm going to feel amazing. Of course, it's going to... Okay, so there's this thing about Kobe, right? He says, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Like, crazy guy. Crazy talented, crazy work ethic. But he says this. It's like, every NBA season, I think 82 or 84 games. I'm not sure, it's 80 plus games. And you have to travel all the time, one state to another state. And you work for like a whole year. And if you win, you're going to celebrate for 15 minutes. And tomorrow you have to be in the gym again. So if you're not working with that mentality, that Grammy means nothing. If I'm working for the Grammy, no, I'm not working for the... Like, I feel like a lot of people mistake it's like, Nasty is working to get a Grammy home. No. I'm working to do something way more epic. Like money, fame, Grammy, Oscars, for fuck's sake, I don't give a fuck. All that is a byproduct of what I'm about to do. I believe in myself like that. I'm going to keep working until all of that happens. So if I get a Grammy today, of course I'm going to be happy. I'm going to shout out everybody who made that thing possible. But if I'm not on flight back, most likely in my studio, I have मेरो स्टुडियोमा यता साउन्डप्रुफ प्यानल छ, यता प्यानल छ, बिचमा मैले ग्रामीको लागि ठाउँ नै राखेको छु क्या. So if I'm going to bring it back, throw it there, and I'm going to start working on my next project. And that's my goal. Actually, you know what the research says, Aile, is like music industry is one of the most lucrative industries to invest in right now, because if you go back to the 90s, 80s, होइन, त्यतिखेर हामीले सिडी र क्यासेट बनाउनु पर्थ्यो नि त. सो म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङ कस्ट लाग्यो म्युजिक बेच्नलाई. अहिले चाहिँ विथ स्पोटिफाई, एप्पल म्युजिक, although the margin is
digital, throughout digital.
Yeah. Although the margin is little, but production cost एकदम थोरै भइसक्यो क्या. So if you are smart and if you have good music is a very profitable business for the next 5 to 6 years. That's what the research says. भनेर भन्छ होइन. So music is the shit क्या. Especially for a country like ours, like, because intellectual property भनेको जस्तो चिज सिकाउन गाह्रो हुँदैन क्या मान्छेलाई क्या. ऱ्याप सिकाउन गाह्रो भएन क्या मान्छेलाई, बुझेन, लाइक or music in general नै क्या. तर बुझेर गरेर if he keeps surpassing levels of creation, उसले भोलि गएर he can represent our country. When I say Grammy लिएर आउँछु म, I'm not saying म लिएर आउँछु मात्रै भने होइन क्या. Anybody from here can do it. Like, try त गर भन्नु पर्छ. I want to give that hope to people. If I like John Lennon said, you could say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I'm asking everybody to dream on.
We're all dreamers, brother.
Yes,
we're all
sir.
dreamers.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
We're all dreamers.
You gotta dream, man.
All right, Rihanna, good for her. Richest Scotty net billion, 1.7 billion.
But that's also because she's into makeup and lingerie, you know. But this guy is crazy, man.
Regardless, I know she's the richest, 1.7 billion. Good for her. I know, I'm really happy. Jay-Z number 2.
I would like it better if Jay-Z was on top. I'm sorry.
Jay-Z को
I'm biased.
पूरा नाम के रे Sean
Corey Carter.
Corey Carter. हो यो थाहा छैन मलाई. Alright, Jay-Z हैन अनि त्यसपछि Jay-Z को कति पैसा हो? X कति हो? 1.3 billion. कति हो यो? Okay, ल अर्को को छ त्यसपछि Andrew Lloyd Webber अनि अझ हेर न अझ Paul McCartney,
Shout
of
out to the
course. And
Of course, is the bad boy.
Didi.
It's the bad boy in the building. And who's this? I don't know this dude. I'm so sorry. And then-
Madonna
then
is
there's
there. Madonna is there. And this bitchy Dr. Dre.
Yes, sir, Andre.
Bono. I love Bono. Man.
I watched this
love
clip.
Bono.
I watched this clip of Bono where he says, I don't know if it was Bono or RSCP, where they say when they work on an album, they're not thinking about what they're saying in the album or in the song. They just make the song and then they play all the songs back and then they're like,
Say it on the mic. Say it on the mic. And then they say it.
And then they say like, whoa, मैले त गीतमा यस्तो पो भनेर रहेछु
लेखिसकेपछि
गाइसकेपछि they play it back and then like मैले यस्तो भन्न खोजेर रहेछ भनेर. So they're letting God flow through them in a sense. भइसक्यो and then they're playing it back and यस्तो भनेछु मैले.
यो कान्य 11 मा अब 11 मा हो के अरे
पहिला 11 मा होला.
कान्यले 24 वटा ग्रामी अवार्ड जिता रहेछ. 24 वटा. ल ठिक छ हैन. यो कान्य भन्दा माथि को थियो? मडोना हो? हैन. Oh, Dolly! त्योभन्दा माथि. Oh. Bono. Okay. I have a special message for you, bro.
For me?
Yeah.
From whom?
I'm going to read it out first.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to read it out first.
Right.
I'll just read it out first. Because my dog he's helping me out with something. I'm working on something and he's helping out with something. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And especially, I'll tune into the podcast. I'm really excited when he sent me a message. And he said, Nasty is a very talented artist. I hope he finally gets the recognition he deserves after the podcast. Right? Like, that's what he said.
God bless. God speak to that.
And now, this is something he already knows. When the thing about the beef comes, you can say that I wished him well, and that beef is squashed.
Definitely. Same here, man.
गीतसँगै नआए पनि उसको गीत सुन्ने चाहिँ छु र सुन्छु भनेर उसले भनेछ हैन.
I know who this is.
And he says, I'll get back to work now.
That's how unique poet Josie. Just by the vernacular, I know this. Like I said, you know, he's somebody, I want to get this out in the world. It's like he's somebody, one of the first people.
You want to say good things about him? I can send it to him right now.
You can VM this shit. Like, you can send this as a voice message. So unique poet, if you're listening, my bro, like, I feel like you were one of the first people I shared my dream of being a rapper with.
Yeah.
So I'll never have hatred towards you in my heart.
Yeah.
And in a competitive state of mind, I'm going to always say I'm the best. And we can always leave that up to debate for the people to decide. But at the end of the day, when it comes on a human level, I got love for you because you got love for hip-hop, and that's it.
And I got love for both of you guys.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that, sitting here in this chair, and I want everybody to do good. You want to succeed, I want you to succeed along with everybody else.
Same here, man.
If everybody succeeds, this country succeeds.
Definitely.
That's why the map is behind you, no?
Definitely, sir. And I love that Lipu Lake is included.
The map is behind me.
I love that Lipu Lake is included because that's an accurate map, right? And secondly, also want to clarify, like, when I say I'm the best, and when I'm trying to prove that I'm the best, I'm not saying other people are bad.
Everybody's good.
I'm just saying I'm the best, and I'll keep working to prove it. Doesn't matter if it's day, night, whatever year, Grammy, no Grammy, none of that shit. I'm gonna keep working to prove it. But at the end of the day, I know the struggle of being a rapper in this country, man. Being real as fuck. I know it's tough. Like, whenever I meet a young rapper, 2021, I am teaching them how to navigate through a career, right? So, like, I'm telling them, like, most people be like, मैले यो पहिला हाम्रो ब्रेक स्टेसनको पडकास्टमै भनेको छु, because most people be like, मलाई मेरो बाबा मामुले सपोर्ट गर्दैन भनेर.
Oh, that's a nice podcast, by the way. Kina support gardena?
बिकज म चाहिँ जहिले के भन्छु थाहा छ तिमीलाई बुझाउन आएन त्यही भएर सपोर्ट गर्दैन भन्छु क्या बिकज my dad, my mom was also very strict. They're like, you know, like they came, मेरो मामु came from Torara. My dad comes from Bhojpur. They came to Kathmandu, the capital of the country. They did whatever they did. अनि सोच्यो कि छोराले के गर्छ भनेर, right? अनि छोराले के भन्यो 12 पास म ऱ्यापर बन्छु भन्यो. So they were not really excited about the prospect, right? But if I was able to convince my parents, I believe they were very strict parents, just to let you know, right? Yeah. They were like tough parents. Right? If I could convince them, I'm not going to believe that somebody else can convince their parents. तर घुर्की लाएर भएन नि त घरमा. म ऱ्याप हान्छु जेसुकै भन त्यस्तो नै. I've tried that too. I'd be like म घर छोडिदिन्छु नभए मलाई बाल छैन. I don't care. म एकचोटि भागेको हुन्छु घरबाट. ऱ्यापर बन्न दिँदैन होला मलाई म त भागिदिन्छु भनेर भागेको पनि छु. Came back, it was a whole scene in the house and whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I could convince them, not घरबाट भागेर कन्भिन्स भएन क्या मेरो मम बाबा. जब when I told them what I really have in mind, जब मैले खुलेर भन्न सकेँ नि बाबा म मेरो यस्तो सोच छ यसरी गर्न खोजेको. I know कि लाइक मम ड्याडको एउटा मेजर फियर के थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ देयर इज दिस स्टिग्मा कि लाइक म्युजिकमा लाग्ने अर आर्ट इन्टरटेनमेन्टमा लाग्ने मान्छे आर गोन बी इन्क्लाइन टुवर्ड्स डुइङ ड्रग्स क्राइम बिग्रिन्छ भन्ने थियो. आई कुड कन्भिन्स टु देम कि लाइक लुक आई एम नट हियर फर द ग्लिट्स एन्ड ग्ल्यामर. I love this craft. I love to prove myself on this platform and I'll prove it to you. So I told my mom and dad कि like मैले 23 वर्षसम्ममा म्युजिकबाट हुने सङ्केत देखाएन भने you can send me to India to study IT, I'm going to go study IT. I don't care. I'll leave music. I don't give a because I also owe a responsibility towards you guys. I'm a part of this family भनेर भने. Lo and behold, 23 हुनुभन्दा like maybe 5-6 days earlier, I also just met Sushil Dai from JGI. अहिले भर्खर त्यो मिस नेपालको इभेन्टमा he heard my idea, he loved it and he was like, I got you. Let's do this भनेर भन्नुभयो उहाँले. He supported me and I told my mom and dad and I was like, dude, this is a sign. Now I have to do this. So I proved myself and then they could not say anything. मैले जब घरमा बाबालाई ट्याटु हान्छु भनेर भने he asked me, तँलाई ट्याटुको अर्थ थाहा छ भनेर भन्यो. And he was like, I was like, of course, it's something permanent. He didn't expect this answer from me. He thought मैले यतिकै ट्याटु हान्ने भने हो भनेर. And I have a reason for this tattoo being on my neck and why this tattoo भनेर. This is something permanent I want to have on my neck for the rest of my life. So when my dad understood that this is something I want to commit to, this statement here is something I want to commit to for the rest of my life, he was like, okay, if you believe in what you're about to put there, do it with your own money. I'm not going to pay for this shit. I don't support it. But you can do it because you have an understanding of it. And I put it on a neck, put it on the neck because everybody's like, neck ma nagara, dekhincha. Suit lai pani dekhyo ni ta. That's my point. Your tattoo na hanesama, in a certain way, society rejected me. Like your musician, but it didn't follow the pathway of society. Ki like 24 someone graduate, 25 my job, 30 some promotion, 35 my married with kids, and that system follow garena मैले. But the moment I have this tattoo on my neck, now I'm saying I'm rejecting the society and its norms, and I want to do it my way. So any argument, it's on a human level, man. Like what Jay-Z says is like, बाहिर बाहिर झगडा हुन्छ नि. Like if two people confront, नेपालमा नि हुन्छ, तैँले स्टेयर हाने हो मलाई भनेर झगडा हुन्छ नि. बाहिर पनि what you looking at भनेर झगडा हुन्छ अरे. And Jay-Z says कि like त्यो झगडा किन हुन्छ अरे भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ this person who is saying तँले मलाई स्टेयर हाने हो भनेको मान्छेलाई चाहिँ fear छ अरे क्या. That he's seeing my pain. This other person sees my pain. त्यही भएर तैँले स्टेयर हाने हो मलाई what you looking at तैँले के हेरेर भनेर भन्छ नि झगडा हुन्छ अरे क्या. So human level को इन्टरेक्सन हो नि त योहरू त सबै. अनि तिमीले आफूलाई जन्म दिएको बुवा आमालाई आफ्नो सपना यो हो र यो गर्छु म मेरो सफा मनले यो गरेर के गर्न सक्छु भनेर कन्भिन्स गराउन सक्दैनौ भने तिमीले ऱ्यापर भएर गरिखान सक्दैनौ. Doesn't matter how tough your parents are, you need to be able to convince them first, yourself first. If you cannot convince your parents, it's probably because you don't believe in it yourself.
Regardless of not just a rapper, whatever you want to be.
No, rapper, because like it's a very tough thing. Yeah. It's way more. I want everybody to win. I'll get to it. Like I want everybody to win. Unique hoes, dong hoes, or ease hoes, like whoever people think I have a problem with, I want them to win. Why? Because more rappers win, more youth can be involved in rap. It's as simple as that for me, bro. Like I don't give a मैले भोलि गएर साइन गर्ने ऱ्यापरको लाइफ सजिलो बनाइरहेको छु तिमीले, and you're working equally hard on a competitive level. I'm always going to be competitive. But on a personal level, it's not like तिमीले खान नपाओस्, तिम्रो घरको चुलो नबलोस् होइन क्या. I know the struggle of being a rapper, like I said. And you need to be able to convince yourself, your parents, your family, amicably लैजानु पर्यो, sustainably लैजानु पर्यो क्या. जस्तै तिमीले ऱ्याप गरेर चलेर 6 महिना कन्सर्ट गरेर 5 लाख लियो एउटा कन्सर्टको, त्यो 5 महिना चलेर काम भएन क्या. तिमीले चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ किन म्युजिक चुज गर्नुको वान अफ द रिजन्स वाज लाइक ल म एल्बम गर्छु 6 महिना सुतेर बस्छु, प्यासिभ इन्कम आउँछ मलाई हो क्या. द्याट्स सस्टेनेबल एन्ड आइम गोना किप वर्किङ टुवर्ड्स द्याट ड्रिम. अनि मैले सबैजनालाई त्यही एन्करेज गर्छु. द्याट्स वाइ आई डोन्ट कोलाबोरेट विथ अ लट अफ पिपल इज कि लाइक जब यो पोइन्टमा नै फन्डामेन्टल लेभलमा बिलिफ मिल्दैन भने त्यो कोलाबोरेसन डजन्ट मेक सेन्स क्या. बुझेन लाइक तिम्रो भ्यू आइरहेछ, मेरो पनि भ्यू आइरहेछ, गरिदिउँ सही भ्यू. आई डोन्ट डु कोलाबोरेसन.
So you're not behind being viral?
I don't even like. I
the
wish
word viral.
that either. If I had an option at this point,
Yeah,
I'd be anonymous and rich. Like कसैले मलाई चिन्दैन. मैले हैन like actually one of the reasons I did dreads was two things. Was like one, to change how I look so that people don't recognize me.
yeah.
What I overlooked was that this is gonna make people notice me. त्यो चाहिँ मैले ध्यान दिएन. न मलाई म भनेर.
How long did it take you to get the dreads?
It didn't.
How does dreads work? कसरी हुन्छ dreads?
I put on extensions. अहिले चाहिँ मेरो प्लान के छ भन्दाखेरि
सुनेको छु त्यसको बारेमा, मलाई खासै थाहा छैन.
Actually, I
त्यो अहिले जे कपाल छ त्यो कपाल माथि हाल्ने हैन?
माथि हाल्ने. अनि I have to go there every 2 or 3 months. Then मेरो जुन नयाँ कपाल उम्रिन्छ नि त्यसलाई ड्रेड गर्छु म. सो मेरो लङ टर्म प्लान चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि मम डज नट नो दिस येट, ओ माई गॉड हैन. बट मेरो लङ टर्म नाउ शी नोज आई गेस राइट. बट मेरो लङ टर्म प्लान चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि नयाँ जुन कपाल उम्रिरहेको छ त्यसलाई ड्रेड गर्दै जाने अनि यो एक्सटेन्सन चाहिँ काटिदिन्छु म. अनि किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ लिल वेन इज माई आइडल, जेजी अघिको फोटोमा हि ह्याड ड्रेड लक्स, जन मिसेल बास्किया हेज ड्रेड लक्स. इट्स अ part of my के भन्ने मेरो dream look as a dream rapper that I had when I just started this thing. So that was how I envisioned myself. अनि I was gonna wait to get dreads. तर मैले सैतान भन्ने मेरो गीतको म्युजिक भिडियो खिच्नलाई I was in Chitwan and I was in Pokhara. अनि चितवनमा चाहिँ while I was getting my hair colored, they were like, dreads हान्न मिल्छ नि तपाईँलाई क्या सुहाउँछ. चितवनमा like what the what do I need to do? And it was like, you need to pay 7K. And I was like, मेरो सबै बजेट त्यो भिडियोमै जान्छ, I don't have money for it. So I waited a couple years भनौँ. अनि त्यसपछि म भर्खर नेपाल टुरबाट दमकबाट फर्केको थिएँ. अनि I actually went to color my hair again. And I also had money on me. So this dude was like, dread हान्दियो सुहाउँछ तिमीलाई. And I was like, let's go. I called mom and I was like, I need it for a video. Will you let me? And she's like, go ahead. And I did it.
Now mom knows.
Now mom knows. Every 2-3 months I go there and they tighten my dreads. And the नयाँ कपाल जुन उम्रिरहेछ त्यो चाहिँ dreads हुँदै जान्छ. तर ideally, shout out Kundun, if you know Karma Dai, actor.
Yeah. Of course.
Karma Daiको भाइ Kundun is a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
He has like original OG dreadlocks. उसले चाहिँ आफ्नै कपाल बनाएको. So उसले चाहिँ के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि 3-4 वर्ष कपाल लामो पार्ने, कर्ली बनाउने अनि त्यसलाई ड्रेड गर्ने हो भनेर भन्छ. आई जस्ट कुड नट वेट. आम अ भेरी इम्पेसेन्ट पर्सन. जस्तै ग्रामी त मलाई आज देऊ भनेर मैले पाएन नि त, राइट. आई हेभ टु वर्क फर इट. ड्रेड्सको लागि त त्यो गरिराख्नु परेन नि त, गर्न मिल्यो. एन्ड दिज आर अल थिङ्स विच आर अ पार्ट अफ माई आइडियल पर्सोना भनौँ न.
लेट मी आस्क यु समथिङ हैन, तिमी देशभरि घुम्यौ होइन विथ यो म्युजिक, यु जस्ट सेड द्याट राइट. दमक गयो, तिमी चितवन गयो होइन, धेरै ठाउँ गयो होइन. रिस्पोन्स कस्तो हुन्छ? यङ मान्छेहरूले के खोजिरहेछ जस्तो लाग्छ? यङ इन द सेन्स आइम टकिङ अबाउट समबडी हु इज लाइक 16 right now, who is like 18 right now, who is like 20 right now.
Something new. They want something new and exciting, which has not been done before.
In hip-hop.
Anywhere. Any music genre ma kya. Any music genre ma there. Because like त्यो हिजोको मान्छेले, हिजो अस्तिको मान्छे भन्छ नेपालको मार्केट इज स्टिल अ भर्जिन मार्केट. A lot of things have not been tried yet. So एउटा यङ मान्छेले चाहिँ I also have the immense pleasure and privilege of working with a 15-16-year-old producer, B Beats. अनि B Beats. His real name is Subhash. Shout out B Beats. He is one of my engineers, one of my producers. He's been working.
How old is this guy?
He's 16 now, I think. He's about to be 16. SLC दिन आँट्यो के भाइले.
Okay.
I met him when he was 13. He actually joined my live.
School पछि help गर्छ होला.
No. I met him on my Instagram live. I asked him to join. He played a couple of beats and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I called him over to the studio and he's been working with me ever since.
All I'm trying to say is I hope he's doing all this after his school hours.
Definitely. After his school hours. In fact, Oily is on a break because usko SLC year. So I'm not...
SEE once again.
SEE, yes, that's what they say. The Iron Gate is here.
I forgot, bro.
So... उसँग काम गर्दाखेरिको सबसे एक्साइटिङ पार्ट चाहिँ के भन्दाखेरि इज भेरी यङ एन्ड ही हेज अ भेरी गुड इन्साइट अफ वाट पिपल इन द्याट एज डेमोग्राफिक
15, 16.
सो वाट दे वान्ट इज बाहिर जसरी ट्राभिस स्कट or Drake or like Jay-Z भयो त्यही स्केलको ऱ्यापरहरू नेपालमा नि होस् भन्ने छ क्या उनीहरू
गल्ली बोय
गली बोय अल्सो इन अ सर्टेन डिग्री होइन तर अगेन
उनीहरूको स्ट्रगल त सिनेमामै आयो नि
उनीहरूको स्ट्रगल सिनेमामा आयो बट when it comes to authentic hip-hop music क्या उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ authentic hip-hop music सुन्नु छ यहाँबाट क्या साउथ एसिया नेपाल होस् अझ सुभाषसँग I have a lot of conversations where even he says कि like we are not represented well in the market बाहिरको क्या I don't like to play my music for somebody and be like तिमी नेपालमै हुर्क्या हो भनेर जब when somebody says नि I feel kind of offended because like किन नेपालमा हुर्केको मान्छेले यस्तो गर्न सक्दैन र जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई सकिहाल्छ नि
एक्स एउटा फेभर गर न मलाई find me hip hop of course hip hop musicians from Southeast Asia ल like country wise बाट जाउँ न हैन let's talk about like some humongous names के हुन्छ नि हैन अब like some big names हुन्छ नि really popular हुन्छ नि हैन आजको दिनमा okay who comes to your mind after you who comes to your mind after you हैन when it comes to like a big name in Nepal in hip hop music
in Nepal
yeah of course after you
not after me I said before me Yamadai
okay
always
sure,
before
sure,
me Yamadai
sure.
And then it's me and then there's everybody in Ikram Grizzle Brahmin VSX Pipe Bomb Sangit Bhai B-Beats, all of these people.
There's a rapper called Pipe Bomb.
Yes, sir. There's a rapper called Pipe Bomb.
That's good to know.
He is super dope, man.
Again, मैले यहाँ गएर अब मेन स्ट्रिम अन्डरग्राउन्ड भन्न थाल्यो भने यो फेरि यो अर्को हेर 4 घण्टा बित्छ यहाँभित्र होइन मैले मेन स्ट्रिम अन्डरग्राउन्ड होइन फेरि ओल्ड स्कुल गर्न थाल्यो भने यहाँ 4-5 घण्टा बित्ला होइन सो somebody who's commercially super famous हुन्छ नि होइन commercially super famous if you had to talk about somebody
from Nepal.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, like these people like G-Bob भयो, Mohesh भयो, Bitin भयो, Laure Dai भयो, Unique भयो, of course, Unique भयो, definitely.
Mir Balin has some music, I know.
Mir Balin more for politics than music, I would say.
Yeah, but he definitely has some music as well, I know. So all I'm trying to say is,
quite some music out, yeah, definitely.
All I'm trying to say is like, of course, we have a long list of musicians. I know we talked about it, right? We started from like Girish, GP, I know, and especially obviously we came to us like Nepsidus. Manas is there, I know. Kiran's like in Australia right now doing great things.
Shout out Manas Dai for paving the way for like I know Manas Dai might not always like my music because he wants me to rap in Nepali mostly, and I might not always fuck with his music all the time because I might feel like this song he could do better because I put him in such a high regard. Ke? But I would like to thank Manas Dai and all these people before me who paved the way for somebody like me to even try this thing.
Sure, there's beef between you and Manas too. I don't know. There's
beef.
What?
I got massive
respect.
Like when I first started rapping, Manas Dai was one of the first people I sent my raps to. Like, Dai yo kosto cha. What do you think? Do you think I can make it as a rapper?
Yeah.
And he'd always be like, you improve gara, definitely.
I love Manas. I love you. have no idea how much I love that, brother.
Same here, man. Same here. हाम्रो चाहिँ जहिले कुरा मिल्दैन मात्रै हो क्या अनि I don't mind difference in opinion ever. That is something I respect. Like, कसैको different opinion than me छ भने that is how I learn actually. If somebody says, oh yes, Dai भन्यो भने there's nothing I can learn. I have massive respect for him and I want to thank him.
पढ्नु पर्यो यार यो beef dish अर्को के रे what was the other word that you were trying to tell me?
Subliminal भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो भन्दाखेरि
Remember you were telling me about
subliminal भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो भन्दाखेरि directly नभन्ने directly त पाते हो नभन्ने तर अलिकति घुमाएर त पात हो कि क्या हो
I do that every day here.
I know man
For people who are not fucking working, I tell them that shit every day. Am I being subliminal?
With me? No,
not with you.
Not with me, because I'll catch it.
You're a lot of people, not friends who generally come, but a lot of people in higher up who say something and who don't work, and then we can see it, we can read about it in the news.
Yes.
Of course, I subliminally diss them.
Yeah, diss them. Yes, you subliminally diss them when you tell them they're not working and shit. And
holy shit.
Don't you think that's a good thing? Don't you think that's a good thing to be reminding people if they're not working, be like, dude, work? My question to every rapper in Nepal is like, I'm not even at this point bragging about how many songs I put out because I don't want to be talking about that shit because I put out a lot of records in my life. God bless that I was privileged enough to have the opportunity to make beats for Anil Lai when he was alive. For 3 years, I got to work with the best in this fucking industry, hands down, no debates ever. I got to learn so much from him. So to this day, I've not accepted that he's dead. I talk to him every day. If I'm being honest,
I understand.
right? Every morning, every morning I wake up, I go out, and if I do something remarkable, I'm like, Anil, you're watching, right? Like, I hope you're proud of what I'm doing right now.
I'm sure you're watching this right now.
I hope he is. I hope he's
It's
like, I know what he would say. I know if I played him the album that I have for you, he'd say, भाइ अलिकति नेपालीमा हान न तिम्रो इङ्ग्लिस कसले बुझ्छ यहाँ भनेर भन्थ्यो दाइले मलाई. That's what he would say because he wanted me to be really famous and really successful, right? Ani मैले, when I was 23 years old, I got to produce his album, which was a dream of mine because म साथी सुनेर ऱ्याप हान्न थालेको मान्छे हो. होइन, when I heard साथी, I was like, नेपालबाट नि नेपालीमै गाएर नि हुने रहेछ नि त भनेर त्यो बिलिफ ल्याइदिएको चाहिँ अनिल दाइले हो. Rest in peace to his great soul, होइन. When I was 23 and I was able to produce music for him and put it out, although the circumstances were really horrible, I can never in my life be more successful than that. That's the peak of success for me. Grammy एक ठाउँमा छ, Oscar देऊ मलाई. But if I had to pick between all that and produce for Yamada again, I would say fuck all that shit. I want to produce for Yamada one more time. Right? So I'm at that peak of success त्यतिखेर नै. So my only question is, are you G-Eazy भन्ने एउटा rapper छ, he says कि like, if you G-Eazy.
Easy. Where is he from?
He's from the Bay Area, San Francisco, and he's a white rapper. He's really dope. अहिले चाहिँ he kind of went through a breakup in the last 3-4 years with the pop star called Halsey. He's kind of fallen off. पहिला अति सही ऱ्याप हान्थ्यो मान्छेले. अनि उसले एउटा गीतमा के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि, stop rapping right now if you look in the mirror and don't see an artist in yourself. So my only question to any Nepali person, rapper, who is either trying, even is successful or is thinking of trying, is like, do you look in the mirror and see an artist in yourself? Because that, like I said, there's a lot of struggle that comes with it. There's a lot of hardships that come with it. Are you ready to face all of that and be on the other side victorious? And if you are, I have massive respect for you. If you don't, and if you're just milking this thing, milking this culture, I got no respect for you. So I'm always going to be calling out people like that. I'm always going to be calling out these tendencies. जसले चाहिँ हाम्रो कल्चरलाई पछाडि पुश गरिरहेछ क्या. I believe हामीले म ग्रिजल, सारा ब्राह्मीण, सारा VSX, हामीले 2020मा हरेक हप्ता एउटा गीत निकाल्यो. You can only imagine how much work that took. There was lockdown, there was curfew, there was all kinds of shit. We didn't stop. हरेक हप्ता video.
What did you guys write about?
We wrote about anything that we felt was relevant, that inspired us. For example, Jatra भन्ने गीत कसरी, how it came together was, like, I have a friend called Rohit Prasad Shrestha from James. अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ नेपालमा कोभिड भइरहेको भएर जात्रा नगर्ने भन्ना थियो. जात्रा गर्नु हुँदैन बिकज कोभिड सर्न सक्छ भन्ना थियो. अनि आई कल रोहित बिकज ऊ चाहिँ ही लिभ्स इन मङ्गल बजार एन्ड हिज वान अफ द पिपल जसले चाहिँ त्यो रथ तान्छ क्या, राइट. एन्ड आई आस्क्ड हिम लाइक, डुड व्हाट डु यु थिङ्क, जात्रा हुनुपर्ने कि नहुनुपर्ने? एन्ड ही वाज लाइक, हेर यहाँ कतिजना बजेहरू छ जसले चाहिँ यो जात्रा नभएर चाहिँ कोभिड फैलिरहेको हो भनिरहेछ. हाउ क्यान यु टेल मी? तँलाई थाहा छ कहिलेकाहीँ त्यो रथ तान्दै मान्छे मर्छ. वी डोन्ट गिभ अ फक. दिस इज अ पार्ट अफ आवर कल्चर. वी निड टु प्रिजर्भ दिस सिट भनेर भन्यो. एन्ड वी वाज लाइक, यु नो वाट, हुन्छ यहाँ जात्रा. Just things like that inspire us to make music.
एउटा शब्द.
Yes.
I just remember this. के अरे नेपको श्री पेजमा हो क्या एकजना भाइले त हाम्रै बारेमा पनि एउटा ऱ्याप गरेछ नि होइन. एक्स, डु यु रिमेम्बर द्याट?
About you guys, your podcast?
Yeah, I think so. एकजना भाइले गरेको थियो सञ्जय दाइको पडकास्टमा भनेर मलाई मैले सेयर गरेको थिएँ क्या. थ्याङ्क्स टु द्याट भाइ. आई विश त्यो भाइको नाम मलाई थाहा भइरहेको.
I didn't follow that show either. I didn't follow that show.
I wish I knew the name of the भाइ हुन्छ नि होइन. But one word हुन्छ नि होइन.
Like, do you remember his appearance? Did he win?
I forgot, man.
Shit.
I forgot. I hope he won. I hope he won.
Even if he didn't win the competition, let's hope he wins in life.
I hope he's winning right now.
Yes.
I know.
God bless.
मलाई गिभिङ ब्याकमा क्या मैले मिस्टर बिस्टको अस्ति हेर्दै थिएँ. मलाई बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लागेको थियो कि मिस्टर बिस्टले
is the guy who does b-boying.
Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTuber.
I'm sorry, Sabin Beast.
No, Mr. Beast. Sabin's confused about it.
My God, my bad.
Love Sabin. He's a good friend of the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Mr. Beast, YouTuber,
okay,
right?
Yes, sir.
उसले एकचोक भनेको थियो कि अस्ति मैले उसको कोट एउटा पढिरहेको थिएँ होइन, जहाँ चाहिँ उसले भनेको थियो कि म मेरो मरुन्जेलसम्ममा चाहिँ होइन, म मेरो जीवनको अन्त्यसम्ममा चाहिँ म जति पैसा मैले कमाउँछु जीवनको अन्त्यसम्म म सबै बाँडिदिन्छु, कतै न कतैबाट म सबै दिइदिन्छु भनेर उसले भनेको थियो कि होइन. मलाई बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लागेको थियो. गिभ अ साउट आउट टु मिस्टर बिस्ट. उसले त्यो 1000जनालाई आई अपरेसनको लागि चाहिँ सर्जरीको लागि चाहिँ उ गरेर रहेछ होइन. क्याट्र्याक्टवाला होइन. एन्ड दिस गाइ सेड द्याट हिज गोना गिभ अल द मनी द्याट ही मेक्स ब्याक. He really doesn't want anything, होइन? And I was looking at that, I was like, oh my god. And then we have people like that too. And then of course on the other side we have people who just want to go out and make money. हुन्छ नि, होइन? So it's such a balancing act. Okay? And like I said, I always tell people, okay, there should always be space for people like you, for people like me, for people like everybody needs to get a space
to coexist
in this country, right here at the back. You know, all of us need to exist together.
Definitely, facts.
सँगै.
And it's such a small country with such a small population. It's not even that what you're saying is not difficult to attain. क्या एकदम सजिलो छ क्या त्यो attain गर्नलाई हाम्रो देशमा. It's a small country. It's not difficult for us to develop. I love भने न like म नगएको विदेश अहिलेसम्म is because I believe that यहाँ केही न केही हुन्छ क्या. This is an amazing place to make something happen. This is Nepal, bro. Like, come on.
Nasty. For people who are listening to us from all around the world, I know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's completely okay to go to Videsh. I know.
No, I'm not saying it's not.
No. No, I'm not throwing it out there. Don't worry.
Exactly.
I'm not throwing you in the spot. I know. $8 billion बराबर legally, होइन? हाम्रो देशमा रेमिटेन्सबाट पैसा आउँछ, होइन? यो जताबाट जोडे पनि हुन्छ. कसैले लेबर काम गर्न गइरहनु भयो होला, कोही साइन्टिस्ट साथी बसेर सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ होला अहिले, होइन?
मेरो दुईजना ठुलो बुवाको छोराहरू, एकजना इज इन मलेसिया, एकजना दाइ इज इन दुबई. मेरो आफ्नै ठुलो बाबाको छोराहरू दुईजना, होइन? And I have massive respect for somebody who's going out there working really hard to send money back to their family. तर मलाई चाहिँ कहाँनिर चाहिँ चित्त दुख्ने हो in a sense is like on a governmental level there are not policies that encourage people to stay here. गभर्मेन्टल लेभलमा नि पोलिसी लेभलमा चाहिँ के भनिरहेको छ भन्दाखेरि विदेश जाऊ रेमिटेन्स पठाऊ भनिरहेको छ क्या. अनि वी निड अ मोर फेभरेबल इन्भाइरोमेन्ट फर पिपल लाइक यु माइसेल्फ एन्ड अ लट अफ अल दिज अदर अन्टरप्रिनर्स एन्ड हस्लर्स हु वान्ट टु मेक मनी हियर नै क्या. त्यो मार्केट पनि बिस्तारै बिल्ड हुनु पऱ्यो. इज अल आइम सेइङ. And I got massive respect for anybody who's out there like breaking blood, sweat and tears, bro.
Like I said, not putting you in spot. I'm not trying to put you in spot. So the whole point was, $8 billion. That's almost 20-25% of the GDP of this country today. Right? 2030 somewhere, most probably our GDP from 40, it's going to be down to $100 billion. We're in somewhere around, like we're lingering around 40 billion, right? As a good in my dollars ko kura garदैछु मैले, हैन? त्यतिमा linger गरेर so I believe.
Through remittance.
No. In general, GDP ko kura गर्दा your business. That's why I'm talking business with you slightly.
Out of that चाहिँ 25% चाहिँ remittance बाट आउँछ.
8 billion जति remittance बाट आउँछ. Out of 48 is give or take 8 is like remittance, हैन? The plan is by 2030 hopefully we'll get up to $100 billion, हैन? You start business. So I'm just like trying to give this perspective, हैन? कतिजनाले बसेर आज यही कार्यक्रम सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ. तिम्रो मेरै कुरा सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ कतिजनाले बसेर, हैन? म उहाँलाई धन्यवाद भन्छु कि जहिले पनि every single day I thank that one person who's sitting somewhere who is listening to my conversations. I know I invite very interesting people like you every single day.
Thank you very much.
And we talk about 1,000 different things.
Definitely.
There are a lot of people who like things. कतिजनाले चाहिँ त बुझिरहेछ होला, कतिजनाले चाहिँ त बुझिरहेछ छैन होला, हैन? अनि जहिले पनि I try to remind people that everybody needs to exist and coexist together in this country.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to emphasize all the conversations that we've had as well, and make it relatable to that one person. त्यो एकजना व्यक्तिले, हैन? संसारको जुनसुकै कुनामा भए पनि, यो देशैको जुनसुकै कुनामा भए पनि, हैन? The most important thing is to coexist and understand that what you're trying to do is something that you believe in. तिम्रो भित्रैबाट त्यो ऊर्जा निस्केको छ, हुन्छ नि? जुन ऊर्जालाई चाहिँ तिमीले चाहिँ कन्ट्रोल गरेर चाहिँ च्यानल गरेर चाहिँ केही न केही गर्न खोजिरहेछ, हैन? त्यो हरेक व्यक्तिले कता न कता त्यही गर्न खोजिरहेछ. म यहाँ बसेर सुन्ने प्रयास गर्दैछु, हैन? And that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I hope and I pray that you keep creating music.
Definitely,
because
always.
Unique just texted me. I read you the text. You guys might have your own differences, but he wishes you the best of luck.
Definitely.
And the same with you.
Definitely. I would say that for every other person.
Exactly.
I would say that for every other rapper. Like, what I don't really understand or like really don't fuck with is like when people think it's personal. I don't ever believe it's personal. It's professional, strictly professional. It's strictly always professional. On a personal level, I'm not the kind of person who wants other people. त्यो मेरो नेचरै होइन कि to say कि यसलाई harm होस् भनेर क्या. त्यो मेरो नेचरमै छैन क्या. I was never taught to wish harm on other people.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you could do.
Just got me thinking about something else. I'm so sorry.
No, definitely go on.
सानो हुँदाखेरि मैले, हैन, मलाई अहिलेसम्म याद छ क्या, हैन? मैले एउटा कस्तो मूर्ख कुरा गरेको थिएँ कि I don't know why I'm talking about this. I'm going to share this story, हैन? म सानै थिएँ अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्थ्यो भने मोटरसाइकल बडो चलाउनु मन लाग्छ कि मलाई होइन कसलाई लाग्दैन होइन मोटरसाइकल देख्ने बित्तिकै चलाउनु मन लागिहाल्छ सबैलाई होइन अब अहिले अलिक डिफ्रेन्ट होला तर त्यतिखेर चाहिँ मोटरसाइकल थियो होइन कसैको मोटरसाइकल पायो भने चलाइदिइहाल्ने होइन आई नेभर सेड दिस बिफोर मेरो बुवाको आरएक्स भन्ने मोटरसाइकल थियो होइन अनि जतिखेर मैले मौका पाउँथेँ होइन घर आए बेलामा जतिखेर त्यो मोटरसाइकलमा साँचो देख्थेँ म च्यापचुप पारेर म एक राउन्ड हान्न गइहाल्थेँ होइन मलाई याद छ म पाउरोटी किन्न जान्छु भनेर चाहिँ म निस्किएँ
घरमा बाहना चाहिँ
होइन बाहना होइन पाउरोटी किन्न जान्छु भनेर होइन अनि अहिलेसम्म याद छ मलाई मैले त्यो अलिक हवाइन खाले सर्ट थियो कि होइन म सानै थिएँ म थियो होला 13-14 वर्षको थियो होला होइन हवाइन त्यति पनि थिएन होला हवाइन थिएँ कि होइन हवाइन टी सर्ट लगाइरहेको थिएँ टी सर्ट होइन सर्ट लगाइरहेको थिएँ होइन बटनवाला कट्टु लगाइरहेको थिएँ अनि चप्पल लगाइरहेको थिएँ होइन निस्केँ आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर दिस मोमेन्ट कि त्यो क्षण मलाई याद छ कि जहाँ म लडेँ होइन बालुवा थियो कि होइन बालुवा पनि होइन बाटोमा त्यो अलिकति त्यो चिप्लो थियो कि होइन म लडेँ होइन उठेको मोमेन्ट मलाई याद छ कि लडेको झ्याम्म खसेको याद छ र त्यो के भयो त्यो मलाई याद छैन होइन आँख खोलेको याद छ कि मलाई एउटा व्यक्तिले छेउबाट मलाई के भनेको थाहा छ 5 इन्ची उता तेरो टाउको परेको भए मर्थिस्
I had something similar. I have a wound right here. It happened to me a week ago. Week or something ago. Do go. I'll say afterwards.
5 इन्ची उता भइदियो कि मर्थिस् होइन त्यो भनेपछि मेरो आँखा खुल्यो कि होइन मैले यसो हेरेँ कि त्यो हुन्छ नि लडेर यसरी हेरेँ कि होइन खानै त थियो होइन त्यो ढिस्को थियो कि ढिस्कोबाट रडहरू निस्किरहेको थियो कि बाटोमा हुन्छ नि आई एम स्योर आई वुड हैव बीन अ भेजिटेबल
brother, man. Come on, man. It's crazy. Life is crazy. Life is crazy beautiful.
It is. You know why?
Yeah.
I was alive.
Yeah.
होइन त्यो 5 इन्ची उता भइदिएको भए होइन म मर्थेँ स्योर मर्थेँ होला होइन 100% म केही न केही बर्बादै हुन्थ्यो होला होइन यु नो वाइ बिकज आई वाज नट वेयरिङ अ हेलमेट के ब्रो
Holy shit.
You know what I mean? Right. I still have a mark के त्यो दिनको right here below my left chest
That's
right
very
here
close
in
to
my
your heart.
chest
That's very close to your heart too.
यहाँ सट्ट यहाँ काटेको छ कि होइन यहाँ दुईवटा लाइन जस्तो यस्तो छ कि होइन अहिलेसम्म पनि 13-14 वर्ष हुँदाखेरि एक्सिडेन्ट भएको होइन अहिलेसम्म पनि यहाँ लामो लाइन छ कि होइन त्यो दिनपछि आई हेभ अलवेज अफकोर्स आइएम श्योर आई हेभ मेड टन्स अफ मिस्टेक्स इन माई लाइफ आफ्टर द्याट एज वेल वेन आइम राइडिङ अ मोटरसाइकल होइन बट I made sure that with my conscious mind, that I'll always make sure that I wear a helmet and I put a strap. Okay, त्यो strap चाहिँ म जहिले पनि लाउँछु भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई त्यो दिनपछि हुन्छ नि I might have missed it होइन हुन्छ नि हाई स्कुलमा कतै न कतै मैले मिस गरेँ मैले माथि गरेँ होला होइन अनि बिर्सेको छु होला होइन I'm not saying that I'm pure होइन I'm not saying that मैले 100% गरेँ त्यो होइन तर जहिले पनि मैले स्ट्र्याप चाहिँ लगाएँ कि हेलमेट लगाएँ कि अहिले अब अलिकति बुढो भइसकेपछि चाहिँ I make sure that I do that all the time होइन अनि यो वाइ द रिजन वाइ एम सेङ द्याट के होइन यस्तो भयो कि तिमी अनिलको कुरा निकाल्यो होइन अनि आई साइ थिङ्क अबाउट अदर थिङ्स होइन अनि आज एक्स्ट्रा मैले कुरा गरिरहेको थिएँ क्या गभर्मेन्टले आज के भनेर रहेछ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अभिषेक होइन कन्भर्सेसन स्टार्ट गराएर रहेछ कि द्याट अ पर्सन निड्स टु वेयर हेलमेट अब पछाडि बस्ने व्यक्तिले पनि हेलमेट चाहिँ लाउनु म्यान्डेटरी गर्ने कि भनेर चाहिँ एउटा कुरा निस्केर रहेछ होइन यसमा कता न कता मैले पढाएको थिएँ डब्लुएचओले पनि एम्फसाइज गरेर रहेछ भनेर होइन म यही पडकास्टमा डक्टर राजीव झा आउनुभएको थियो होइन हिज द हेड अफ बिर हस्पिटल वेन कम्स टु न्युरोलोजी जस्ट डबल चेक this है होइन हि सिज पेसेन्ट्स almost every day होइन इन नर्वेक एज वेल होइन हि सिज पेसेन्ट्स every day यङ पिपल कतिजना व्यक्तिहरू हुन्छ होइन सानै नम्बर होला त्यो ठुलो विशाल नम्बर नहोला होइन बट देयर इज अलवेज अ ट्रमा केस अफ समबडी हु गट इन्टु एक्सिडेन्ट हुन्छ नि होइन एन्ड इफ देयर इज अ हेड इन्जुरी
मोस्टली इज बिकज दे डिडन्ट वेयर अ हेलमेट
सो आई नो हुन्छ नि अ लट अफ पिपल आर नट गोना बी ह्याप्पी अबाउट दिस हुन्छ नि होइन अ लट अफ फ्रेन्ड्स आर नट गोना बी लाइक किन गर्ने यस्तो भनेर होइन जो कानुन आओस् नआओस् त्योसँग अब त्यो ठिकै छ त्यो जे हुन्छ त्यो अब कानुनले जान्ला होइन त्यो समयले बताउला होइन तर हेलमेट घरमा एउटा छ पुरानै होला मेरो घरमा नि अलिकति एउटा हेलमेट त पुरानै छ होइन त्यसलाई बरु अलिकति साबुन पानी लाएर घसौँ होइन अलिकति सफै बनाऊ होइन स्ट्र्याप यसो ऊ छ भने ऊ गरौँ र लाम
किनभने जीवन एकदम प्यारो छ क्या
एकदमै
पिपल डोन्ट रियलाइज द्याट म्यान मलाई हाम्रो देशमा सबसे दुःख लाग्ने कुरा नै जब बाटोमा गाडी चलाएको बाइक चलाएको देख्छ अर लाइक मान्छे हिँडेको देख्छ ज्यानको बालै छैन क्या दे डोन्ट गिभ अ फक क्या नेपाल हो हरेस खाइसक्यो क्या त्यो सबकन्सियस लेभलमा कति हरेस खाइसक्यो क्या एन्ड आई वान्ट आवर पिपल टु लभ देयर लाइफ प्रिजर्भ देयर लाइफ बिकज Anil Dai went through the tragedy that he went through, and very sadly, my dad also had to go through a similar tragedy in the sense कि मेरो ड्याडको आफ्नै दाई एउटै like same mother birthed him and his brother and his मेरो बाबा सबसे कान्छो छोरा a couple of एक दुई माथि माइलो साइलो जो पर्छ he killed himself he committed suicide अनि लाइफ त्यस्तो सिचुएसनमा रियलाइज हुन्छ लाइफ कति इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ भनेर क्या when you lose something that you really love when you lose somebody you really love that's when you start really valuing your life मलाई चाहिँ एकदम ज्यानको माया लाग्छ honestly speaking मलाई एकदम ज्यानको माया लाग्छ I am a very unconfrontational very peace loving person मलाई ज्यानको एकदम माया लाग्छ मैले यो एक्सिडेन्ट इट ह्यापन्ड 15 days ago त्यो rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives in the recent plane crash त्योभन्दा 2 दिन अगाडि 3 दिन अगाडि मेरो बाइक स्कुटर एक्सिडेन्ट भएको थियो सिमिलर इफ मैले हेलमेट नलापे म मर्थेँ नि क्या आई लिभड जस्ट one scar to show for it just like this tiny scar and I went back to the studio and made one amazing song the album is it's called Hurt and after the song was done me and Riot looked at each other and like भगवानले हामीले यही गीत गर्नलाई बाँच बनायो this is our purpose right now भनेर भन्यो and then album finalize गर्न म पोखरा जान आँटेको थिएँ I kid you not शनिबार के अरे आइतबार बिहान म युजली इफ आई गो आउट अफ भ्याली आई विल अलवेज गो अन द फर्स्ट फ्लाइट बिकज आई गेट 1 more day एक्स्ट्रा देयर बिहानै ल्यान्ड हुन्छ एक दिन एक्स्ट्रा पाएँ मैले
स्मार्ट मुभ
राइट त्यो दिन आइतबार आई ह्याड अ पेमेन्ट आई निडेड ह्याभ अ पेमेन्ट कमिङ थ्रु डिन्ट कम अन टाइम सो त्यो भएर आई डिलेड माई ट्रिप अदरवाइज आई वाज सपोज टु बी अन द्याट फकिङ फ्लाइट आई ह्याड अलरेडी कल्ड पिपल लाइक मेरो टिकट बुक गरिदिने एकजना दाई हुनुहुन्छ हिज बिन बुकिङ माई टिकट्स फर द लास्ट 3 years मैले दाइलाई कल गरेर कति छ रेट एभ्रिथिङ बुझाएको थिएँ इफ मेरो पेमेन्ट टाइममा आयो भए आई कुड हेभ बिन अन द्याट फ्लाइट आई रिमेम्बर टेलिङ माई मम द फर्स्ट थिङ आई वोक अप मलाई मेरो प्रोड्युसरले टेक्स्ट गर्यो दाई यो प्लेन क्रास भयो एन्ड आई वाज लाइक वाट द यु सपोज टु बी अन द्याट फ्लाइट एन्ड आई वोक अप आई वेन्ट टु माई मम एन्ड आई टोल्ड हर ब्रो डु यु नो दिस ह्यापन आइ एम सो लकी आई डिडन्ट गेट अन द्याट फ्लाइट एन्ड सी हग मी एन्ड वाज लाइक ओ माई गड मेरो छोरा टाइप सो लाइफ इज सो precious and beautiful.
It is. We lost some musicians that day too.
Hazur.
We lost some musicians that day too.
There was a guitarist guy, I forgot his name, but rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives. I watched a live video of an Indian guy recently. He was going live from the flight and then it crashes. It's fucking crazy, man.
We had to.
Rest in peace to all the souls. And life is very precious. Like anybody who's watching it, man, like life is too precious for you to let it go and waste it. Like live every fucking moment like it was your last because you never know it could very well be your fucking last. So we have to live it to the fullest. And it cannot just be you living. You also got to let other people live. And that is the only way we can coexist.
Yeah, no doubt on that. And you don't know this, but Anil, I met Anil a few days before that, in UK. So that's why it's always tough. Okay? Every time I talk about rap, every time I bring this up. Anyways, we've talked about mental health so many times in this podcast. अस्ति भर्खर पनि हामीले mental health conversation गऱ्यौँ र हामीले रेगुलर रूपमा mental health conversation गर्छौँ तिमीले पनि अघि न you talked a little bit about touch base on your mental health so we'll constantly talk about mental health in the podcast and that's one of the reasons because I've lost friends. Right, I've lost friends. I've lost friends, and it's a very sensitive and a very important topic to me for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Going back to the point. All right. Another song. We'll wrap it up. Another song that you want me to play from your album.
From my album. There's a record called Kill. If you can pull that.
Arey baafre, ho ra Kill wada sagaune.
Because like okay, so why Kill is because like there's 2 spectrums to the album. The first one I played in the beginning was like a really romantic, lovey-dovey type of record, and this is like the other extreme. I'm a killer MC record, so I want to play both the spectrums.
You know, this is just me asking, me requesting, hey. I know when you ever do an album later on in your life, I know. एक वटा शब्द गर के नेपाली शब्दहरु हैन or maybe do one शब्दस from around the world as well maybe
मेरो एक्चुअली नेपालीमै एक वटा शब्द भएकै एल्बम अलरेडी छ
त्यो क्रान्ति भनेको हैन
I feel I'm pretty sure त्यसमा एक
वटा शब्द छ एक वटा सबै हो
बादल 1993 झर्को what's the first ज्वालामुखी कार्तिके ठीक भन्ने एउटा गीत छ र बेठिक भन्ने एउटा गीत छ. We have compiled it together. So त्यहाँनिर त्यो ब्रेक भयो. ठिक/बेठिक भयो. But those are two records we put together because त्यसमा चाहिँ we've talked about the stark contrast between के ठिक हो र के बेठिक हो and who is there to define ठिक बेठिक के हो भनेर. But besides that, all the songs are like one word names. But I will definitely keep that in mind. I'll take it as a challenge. And the next time I do an album, I'm going to be like, okay, so Sanjay had said this. Right, what do you think? We can do this, and we'll try to do it, definitely.
Global, do a whole global. Yeah. And I want to say this right away, and I know my brother Unique is listening to this, I know. I was looking for the furniture, I was looking for something red, I came across your song, I know, and then Sarpo and the whole 9 yards, I know, and this which we got here talking.
Here we are.
And then, of course, Unique and me were talking. I'm very honest with you. Unique and me were talking about something else, I know, and this which Europe and other things, I know, and I was like, I'm going to call Nasty. And yeah. You definitely need to sit and talk to him. He's such a unique person. He had all praises for you, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm so glad that you have praises for him.
Definitely,
you know,
man,
and that's so important to me.
I feel like the audience also really needs to understand that, because like I feel like the audience kind of sees it as personal, and like to personally, it's more entertaining also, yeah. I know, and I get that.
Let him come. I'll invite Dong too if he wants. If he's cool with it.
That will never be a problem from my end. Definitely not, because like
I listen to his song every day. In the morning.
I don't necessarily listen to his song every day, but I feel like we're at a point in our, like all of us, me, Unique, Mahesh, Vitain, all these people, Grizzle, all these people in the same conversation. I would always put all of us in the same conversation. Yeah. And I feel like we're at a point in our career where our songs cannot be avoided to a certain degree. You listen to our shit, they're going to listen to my shit, I'm going to listen to their shit. So the best we can do is give our best to each other. Like
I'm glad.
There should be no animosity.
Since you're here, Vitanle US store गर्दैछ क्यारे एकपल्ट त्यो Vitanle पनि shout out दिइहालौँ त quickly. US store दुबईमा छ क्यारे अहिले Vitan, if I'm not mistaken, हैन. G-pop कहाँ छ by the way? Does anybody know where G-pop is?
The last time I heard was like he was doing a tour of rehabs where he was promoting anti-use of drugs.
Okay, that's
which is kind of good. But I feel like मलाई G-pop को केसमा के लाग्छ थाहा छ?
Go for it.
I'm known for my unpopular opinions anyway. So like, I feel like G-Bob needed to work for at least a couple more years to get as big as he got, because I feel like उसलाई चाहिँ सबसे ठुलो कर्स नै how big he got भयो क्या. I feel like उसले त्यो ह्यान्डल उसको वरिपरि if there was a proper team to handle it also, no, it would be better, हैन. त्यो जुन स्टारडम र फेम उसलाई आयो नि, खास यो स्टारडम र फेम भनेको ह्यासल हो क्या. Like imagine anybody who's famous, I bet you have the same problem. You go out to a public place and people recognize you, and now it's not a private space anymore, even if you're looking for something private. So it's a curse.
I have to answer this right away, since you already asked. For me, it's great, bro.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time, energy, and effort. I take this from Shah Rukh Khan. I've spent a lot of time, energy, and effort to be famous. Now I'm not gonna hide behind a mask.
No.
I go and chill.
Definitely, I agree with you. I'm also a big. One of the reasons I started smoking cigarettes was because of SRK.
Smoking cigarettes?
Yeah, because he's a chain smoker, if you don't know, right? So I felt like to be Shah Rukh Khan. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't feel like he's at a point where he can. I'm not sure, eh?
But there's a point where he can't quit smoking. Everybody can quit smoking. I quit fucking smoking.
And also, I've quit smoking too. I just smoke vapes right now. So, but I started smoking because of SRK. I'm a big fan, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm never ungrateful for the fame either. If anybody recognizes me when I'm working, it's like, Nasidai, big fan. I'm always like, you want a picture? I'm here. But you're not always in the mood for that. For example, sometimes ke bhayera huncha life ma and some fan walks up, Nasidai, and you have to put up that front and be like, hey, what's up, man? And that's kind of tiring. So it does not always necessarily be something that makes you light up. Sometimes it's a burden too. I know.
So, I know
right,
what you mean. I know what you mean.
G-Bob ko case ma all I'm trying to say is like he didn't have a lot of things to go along with the fame. And जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ उसलाई कोप गर्न गाह्रो भयो, and he was more inclined to do the substances that he did जस्तो लाग्छ, to the point that it got so bad जस्तो लाग्छ. Because to see somebody that young be that successful, most young kings get their heads cut off भयो नि त त्यो त. He was so young, he was so successful, तर अहिले you have to ask me, G-Bob कहाँ छ त अहिले भनेर. That's not good क्या. It would be so much better if it was like G-Bob यो गरिरहेछ अहिले.
कहाँ छ G-Bob? G-Bob को YouTube हेर न. I'm sure he's touring or doing some music.
I don't think so.
I hope he is.
I hope so
G-Bob को
too.
के latest आइरहेछ?
Even if he's not releasing right now, I hope he's in the studio working on something right now with full energy.
Sure. He's like super talent, bro. He's pure talent.
With full energy.
He's pure talent. He's definitely gonna. He he and the entire team definitely is going to definitely come out with music, like 100% sure.
भिटेनको हेर्दै थिएँ मैले
भिटेनको के छ कहाँ छ भिटेन दुबईमा छ जस्तो लागिरहेको थियो मलाई मनको हेर्दै थिएँ मैले मनको स्टोरी हेरिरहेको थिएँ मैले कता दुबई होइन
दुबई थाहा भएन यो छड्के 2.0 को लागि चाहिँ भिटेन काम गरिरहेको
नाइस नाइस छड्के कहिले रिलिज हो बाइ द वे म
मार्च
Chadki is a movie, right?
या छड्के इज अ मुभी म आई जस्ट टकिङ टु अनमोल
भर्खर 1 घण्टा अगाडिको पोस्ट हो यो समीर घिसिङको
खै देखाउ
जीव पनि हेर्छु
सायद धेरै जीव जीव भन्ने के अरे भिटेनसँग नबसेको है वी गट प्लान सम टुगेदर नो आइ एम एक्साइटेड ब्रो छड्के इज कमिङ
It's a
छक्का
movie.
पन्जा इज कमिङ
Chhaka Panjako kun wala auna aँट्यो? Which part is it?
छक्का पन्जाको दिस इज छक्का
होइन,
देयर यु
यो
गो
छड्के
छड्के 2.0 होइन अनि द एन्टायर टिम इज वर्किङ अन दिस नाइस नाइस गुड a lot of things are going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of
man.
things are going to happen, bro. A lot of things are going to happen. There you go. Jibao leader.
Shout out all these
Jibo
people,
Putte
man.
छैन
Like, shout
He's
out,
talent, bro. This guy's
shout out all these people who are out there
He's pure
working for.
talent, my brother.
Shout out all these people who are out there working for hip hop. Yeah.
That's what matters. That's what matters. And
know.
a big shout out to you,
Thank you so much.
Mansani.
man.
I
Thank you
know
so much.
because you're here.
Yeah.
We talked about 1,000 different things. I know. And
Tried my best.
You're my brother.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about 1,000 other things.
Definitely.
1
man.
million other things. 1
Definitely.
billion other things.
Definitely.
Billions, Grammy, all that's there.
Yeah.
All
definitely.
that's there. Make dreams a reality.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
You
The
know?
only difference between your dream and your
There you
reality
go.
is work.
There you go.
If you keep working on it, it might happen today. It could happen tomorrow. If you're not working for it, it might never happen. So you got to keep working for it.
Wake up. Wake up.
Every
you know,
day.
every single day, and don't let anything
Yes.
anything come between you and what your goals.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right?
मलाई चाहिँ के फिल हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि आई सेड दिस अर्लियर अल्सो म यो मोमेन्टमा एक्जिस्ट गर्न लाइक अन एन एन्सेस्ट्रल लेभल मेरो बुवा बाजेहरूले कति सेक्रिफाइस गर्नु पऱ्यो मेरो साथी दाजुभाइहरूले कति सेक्रिफाइस गर्नु पऱ्यो होला म आज जे छु म एक्लैले गर्दाखेरि होइन सबैले मलाई मित्र भन्ने मान्छेले गर्दाखेरि पनि हो मलाई शत्रु भन्ने मान्छेले गर्दाखेरि पनि उत्तिकै हो आई इक्वली ओ एभ्रिथिङ टु अल दिस पिपल सो आइ एम जस्ट ग्रेटफुल फर अल दिस लाइक आई डोन्ट केयर इफ यु हेट मी or if you love me, I got nothing but love for everybody because I'm so grateful just to be breathing in this moment.
Good. And I'm grateful for that one person who's listening to you and me.
Shout out, man. Shout out to that person, man.
All right, brother.
All right, that's the real top G.
Love you.
Same here, man. Love you too, man. Thank you for having me over, man.
If you love what we are doing, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications. This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios.